Arne Slot, who won't be on the touchline tonight. He'll be near us up in the stands serving a one-match ban. So there's no permanent manager for either side on the touchline tonight. As the two teams come out, Captain Trent Alexander-Arnold leading his Liverpool side out for this Carabao Cup quarter-final. Not every seat is full. Maybe some disillusioned Southampton fans after the poor league form so far this season that's seen Russell Martin get the sack. But Carabao Cup semi-final place is up for grabs tonight, and it will be decided this evening as well. So far this evening, Newcastle 1, Brentford 0, Arsenal 0, Palace 1. That's live over on Talksport right now. But let's stay here on Talksport 2. Southampton have conceded 13 in their last 3 home games. Liverpool haven't lost away at all this season. Brace yourselves. Live on Talksport 2, it's Southampton against Liverpool with FA Cup winner Scott Minto alongside your commentator Jim Proudfoot.
And back in May, this city was jubilant. Southampton promoted back to the Premier League at the first attempt, eyeing a brighter future under one of the most highly regarded young bosses in the game. But now they've endured the worst start to a season in their history. They're miles away from safety, and the manager's been sacked after their worst performance yet. They've only won 3 games all season, and 2 of them have been in the League Cup, which might offer the best chance of salvaging anything from a wreck of a campaign. All they've got to do is beat the side who are top of both the Premier League and the Champions League. This is how the two sides line up. McCarthy in goal for Saints, Bree, Harwood Bellis, Wood, Bednarek and Manning. Dibbling Downs, Rebound Fernandes and Archer. Kelleher in goal for Liverpool, Alexander-Arnold, Endo, Kwanzaa and Gomez. McAllister and Morton, Elliott, Nioni and Gakpo, and Darwin Nunez leads the line. The benches, the Liverpool old boy Lallana on the bench for Southampton alongside Edwards, Sugawara, Brereton, Diaz, Sulemana, Fraser, Amior, Onuachu, and substitute goalkeeper Joe Lumley. For Liverpool, Chiesa, Jota, Tsimikas, McConnell, Nallo, Yomoa, Dans, Norris, and Vidislav Jarosz is the substitute goalkeeper. I'm delighted to say that former Cup winner Scott Minto is alongside me. A different feel tonight than it was here on Sunday. And Liverpool making a lot of changes, but still overwhelming favourites, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, we're not 39 seconds into the game yet. That's when Spurs got their first goal. So let's see how Liverpool start. But you know, you're absolutely right to say Liverpool top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League bit as well. But it's not this Liverpool that's going to be out there in the 11, and I'm fascinated to see how they're going to gel. Confidence is high. Arne Slot's been superb. He's turned water into wine so far. I just feel if I were a Southampton player, and I've been under pressure all this time, the manager's gone now, and I'm sorry to see Russell go. I genuinely am, but maybe there's a little bit of pressure off them now, and Simon Russ would have come in and just said, look, let's try and make this as enjoyable as possible. Let's go at this Liverpool side first 10-15 minutes and see what happens. So I think the first 10-15 minutes will be absolutely crucial, but they cannot afford to have the start like they did here on Sunday.
Well, Southampton's last League Cup quarter-final came in circumstances not dissimilar to this one. 2 seasons ago, they'd lost 6 league games in a row. They were bottom of the table. They were drawn at home to the title favourites. And that night, they beat Manchester City. The only leg of the quadruple that Pep's men failed to claim. 2 years on, it's Liverpool who come to town on a filthy Hampshire night. The side who topped the table both domestically and in Europe, still eyeing a clean sweep of their own. And they're 19 minutes away from a semi-final in the competition in which they are the current holders. Southampton kicking from right to left, send an early long ball forward which catches the swirling breeze and gives Southampton a free kick 2 yards from the left-hand edge of the Liverpool penalty area.
And I wonder if there's a statement there, straight from the kick-off, back to centre half, ping it as long as you can in the corner, and Cameron Archer's just won a free kick in a dangerous position now.
So a free kick that Southampton will take. They're already a goal down by this stage on Sunday. Manning standing over this, and it is going to be him just to flight it in over the head of Taylor Harwood-Bellis, and Nunez is going to be able to bring it away. The ball coming out of the penalty area, Nioni with a calm touch guiding it back. Just a little bit of housekeeping as far as Liverpool are concerned. It is Alexander-Arnold at right back, And Quansah alongside Endo at centre-half, Joe Gomez at left-back, as we'd expected. Harvey Elliott starting on the right, but it's Tyler Morton that is the deepest of the Liverpool midfielders.
Yeah, he is a holding midfielder, isn't he? McAllister, we know, is more of an 8. He can go from that holding position, pushing further forward. Trainioni, delighted. I'm really fascinated to see how he'll do, and I hope he does well, the youngster. But yeah, it was interesting because there were rumours around that Trent would be left back, but we did kind of think, well, Gomez is quite experienced in that, and Trent knows that role so well, doesn't he, at right back and moving in.
Alexander-Arnold playing it forward here for Alexis McAllister. Now back for Trent again. Into the feet of Endo, who, if he is nominally playing at centre-half, is just shuffling forward into midfield. When Liverpool are building up from the back, it is very much 3 at the back. Trainioni's got it now, and Nioni working it out to the Liverpool left-hand side for Cody Gakpo, who's got such a sparkling record in this competition. 4 League Cup goals for him this season already, 2 in each of the 2 wins that Liverpool have had so far. They were impressive at Brighton, along the coast from here at the back end of October. A much changed side that night, and 8 changes made by Arne Slot tonight, who could not be sitting closer to us without having a microphone in his hand. He's literally 3 or 4 feet behind Scott and myself. The ball just worked back towards Tyler Morton. Morton to Quansah. Now Gomez will work it forward through the midfield. Nioni controls it, passes it down the line for the runner Cody Gakpo. His ball forward, intercepted by Downs, but Liverpool win back the seconds. Now Fernandes is in there and gets his foot onto it for Southampton. Aribo can poke it away. Archer still inside his own half, battling, couldn't find a way through past Quansah. And he goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Southampton right. 3 minutes in here in the wind and rain of a dank South Coast night. It's 0-0 in the League Cup quarter-final on Talksport 2.
Yeah, when you described it as a filthy night, I think it's a really good description. I mean, it's raining really heavily, it's swirling around, so it's windy as well, which is a nightmare for defenders. But again, you know, for Southampton, if they can try and get the ball wide and whip the ball in, defenders will not want to be making these clearances on these type of conditions, or certainly it is very difficult to do that.
The ball played back for McCarthy there. There was no thought whatsoever of playing out from the back. He drove it out towards the left-hand touchline, straight over the head of Manning, and out of play for a Liverpool throw. But there was just no contemplation when he had the ball at his feet that he was going to try and find Bednarek. Interesting that the Southampton centre-halves are actually playing a different way round today, with Bednarek in the middle of the 3 and Wood on the left. Now, Wood came on very early the other night and he played in the middle. Liverpool work it forward long over the top now for a good run from Gakpo. Harwood-Bellis forces him outside the area, but Nioni can drive in a ball which is headed away by Jan Bednarek and then clear by Harwood-Bellis. And almost ironic cheers from the Southampton fans as he just got his foot behind it and hits it 60 yards upfield.
With the old Peter Kay, have it, wasn't it? Why not? Why not? Listen, I'm certainly not one of those who say you've got to knock it long all the time, whatever. I like seeing that ball playing out from the back, but it's when is the right time to play. That's the key thing. And you mentioned earlier, Jim, about individual errors. And I wonder if we, at some point, you and I sit down, and I reckon there'll be at least 50%, if not more, of defenders probably being asked to do something they're just not comfortable in doing.
Endo mops up at the back as Archer tried to poke the ball forward for Southampton. Oh, Wataru Endo's got plenty of time. Archer not engaging, so Endo can just knock it square to his right-hand side. And having picked it up, he then vacates the back line and moves forward into the midfield again. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold effectively playing on the right of the 3 centre-halves. McAllister forward for Harvey Elliott, chipped forward by him. Good to see him back after the bad injury problems that have done so much to wreck his 24-25 campaign so far. This is his first start of the season tonight. Harwood-Bellis chips it away from Gakpo on the edge of his own penalty area. Lays it out towards the right-hand side for James Bree, who has started all of these League Cup ties for Southampton this season. Driven forward long by him. Archer has got Morton making life difficult for him. And in fact, he did well there, Tyler Morton, and succeeded in getting Archer to concede possession, put it out of play for a throw. As much as you can see where the wind is, because the rain is just catching in the floodlights and swirling around, so it's It's a visual representation of how the wind is blowing. It is going largely in Liverpool's favour in this first 45 minutes, blowing from left to right towards the northern end of the ground here at St Mary's.
What you can do though, Jim, if you're a Southampton player and you're not afraid to do it because you've been programmed to play, is at times you can, if it's on, knock the ball over the top, and you know it will hold in that wind as well. So I'm sure that's something like Cameron Archer will be looking for, just come short to go long and then see if he can have a race with one of the central defenders, because at times they're just two at the back with Endo pushed in and Joe Gomez also pushing on as well. Yes, you've got Morton kind of protecting the two when Trent comes across, but I do think on the transition, you know, this Liverpool side, let's have a look, let's see if they can be got at.
Well, the last time these two sides met in this competition, Southampton won home and away. That was under Ronald Koeman in the semi-finals of the competition 8 years ago, with Nathan Redmond scoring the winner here and Shane Long the only goal at Anfield. Well, the last time they met in the quarter-finals, you might remember, Liverpool won 6 going on 10 here at St Mary's. It was a night where Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain really excelled, and Divock Origi got a hat-trick for Liverpool. The ball played forward here down the Southampton right, the flag up very early against James Bree, and it's a free kick that Liverpool will take just outside their own penalty area. 7.5 minutes gone, both sides just feeling each other out really in the early stages, trying to get used to the conditions, which are palpably worse now than they were in the warm-up 20 minutes ago, but it's still 0-0.
No, it's really raining heavily, and I don't know how to accentuate that even more. It's, you know, look at the referee's assistant, he's getting absolutely soaked there as he's put his flag up. Interesting, of course, we're still sort of EFL in terms of VAR at the moment, aren't we? There's no VAR until the semi-finals, so let's see how that goes.
Yeah, that's correct, and I don't know whether the players would be diplomatic enough to make reference to that later tonight. Maybe, we'll see. Here's Cody Gakpo making his way forward. Remember, elsewhere, Newcastle leading Brentford, Palace a goal up at Arsenal. This one still 0-0. We're 8 minutes in here on Talksport 2. That Arsenal-Palace game, incidentally, live for you right now over on Talksport. So if you've got the Talksport app, it's really easy to swipe between the two games and you can keep abreast of everything that is going on in each of them. But that 4th minute goal from JP Mateta still the difference between the two sides in that game. At Arsenal, they meet again at Selhurst in the league at 5:30 Saturday night. Ball is over on the Liverpool left. 0-0 here tonight. It's dropped short at the feet of Endo. Endo back inside the centre circle. Liverpool's current unbeaten streak 19. They've only lost 2 of the last 30 games in all competitions. It's a remarkable run that they've been on. In fact, since Arne Slot took over, they still haven't been beaten away from home. The last defeat that they had away from Anfield was also on Merseyside in the derby back in April, but unbeaten on the road since then. 9 wins and 4 draws in that time. A very impressive run. Joe Gomez has got the ball for Liverpool. He's in Southampton territory. Now the Liverpool number 2 just plays it off towards the left-hand side. Now an opportunity for Gakpo to get towards the byline, and he's won the first corner of the night given by referee Simon Hooper. 10 gone, 0-0.
Yeah, I mean, nothing much has happened so far, and I do think the conditions have played their part in that, as well as team selection. And you're right, Arne Slot, it's just incredible how he's come in and, you know, if anything, I don't want to say he's made Liverpool better, because Jurgen Klopp did an incredible job, but just the fact that we're having that conversation is incredible in itself. But, you know, it's down to Liverpool and this Young's team, or certainly a mixed team, to try and find a way to win and get themselves in the semi-final.
So it's a Liverpool set piece, 5 attacking it from wide of the far post, and it's coming and beaten everybody. And curved straight out of play for a goal kick, although I think the referee had spotted an infringement. It's the jockeying for position. And it's going to be a free kick which Southampton will take inside their own penalty area. But everybody's doing it now. That was the Arsenal set piece of 5 deeper than the far post, all making runs about a second and a half before the ball is going to come in, but nobody could get the touch.
Well, back in my day, set pieces were important. Then it was a bit sort of like, oh no, it almost shouldn't count as a goal. And now suddenly it's gone all sexy again. It's always been important. It doesn't matter how you score. Just try and get that ball in the back of the net. And if you can score in set pieces, then so be it. What you don't want to do is rely too much on it and still be as good as you can possibly be in open play. I just wonder whether Arsenal have taken the eye off the ball that way.
Now Fernandes, after McCarthy fired it long out from the back twice in the space of 10-15 seconds. Fernandes hit a good crossfield ball. Southampton work it back through their own penalty area into the feet of Joe Aribo. Manning high up on the left-hand touchline. The ball was played back to Aribo from Wood. Didn't really want it there, Joe Aribo, and all he could do was get it out of harm's way, and it's out for a Liverpool throw. Well, there's no need to water the pitch clearly before the game, but you can see every pass that is played, there's just a little plume of spray comes up behind the ball now. It's clearly very heavy underfoot, and it's a difficult one for defenders, potentially, because you're not absolutely sure that the ball is going to run through truly.
Well, the pitches nowadays are just incredible, and they're still able to hold it, but because it's been raining so heavily, it's just easing off a touch, but it's still, as you say, I would be thinking, and we used to sort of say, well, just get some shots in, whip some balls in.
Liverpool go long, Nunez flicks it on, and it goes straight through towards McCarthy.
And with the wind as well, if you're sort of like putting in long balls or crosses towards the far post, they're really hard to judge for a defender. So, again, we talk about set pieces. Is it being old school, or is it actually just realising it's another way to score? Well, that's exactly the same as well. Don't be afraid to put balls in the box, because defenders will not want to clear it the way the wind is at the moment.
Now Wood scuffs the clearance. Alexander-Arnold comes forward onto it. It's knocked away relatively comfortably by Harwood-Bellis. Down towards this near touchline, which is the Liverpool right. Down it goes, out of play for a throw that Tyler Morton's going to leave for Trent Alexander-Arnold, playing his 330th Liverpool game tonight. He's in the side that won this competition in 2022. Didn't feature in the last season's final. Back in late February this year, as Kwanzaa's got it. Plays the ball forward for Gomez. Now towards the Liverpool left-hand side now for Cody Gakpo. And the Dutchman coming onto his right foot, and he delivers a cross that's not quite angled correctly. It was too deep for McAllister, and he couldn't get the angle right for Harvey Elliott, who was coming in behind him. They'll split the difference between the pair of them. He's gone out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by McCarthy. The geography of this ground has changed in the relatively recent past. Away to our right-hand side, the right-hand edge of the northern stand used to be the away fans. It's not anymore. They're pending in the corner as we look at it, the clock face. They're almost at 10 o'clock to us. Away in the corner between the Kingsland and the Chapel ends of the ground. I think the theory being that Southampton wanted more vocal support at both ends of the ground. So Archer trying to get in here, but Alexander-Arnold very calmly just sticks his foot on the ball in the penalty area and turns away. And then gets it back when he didn't really want it from Morton, but he has won a throw. Last touch coming off Fernandes. His form's certainly been one of the bright spots of Southampton's season. The 20-year-old that they signed, he's making his 100th senior appearance today. The vast majority of those coming before he got here. Alexander-Arnold with a throw. Leone with a lovely turn, just let the ball run across him, and now he can effortlessly make his way forward, 20, 30 yards forward into Southampton territory. And it goes towards Gakpo. Leone gets it back, couldn't pull it back towards Nunez, and hangs his head in frustration with himself that he didn't make a better fist of finding him. But it is a throw which will be taken by Liverpool, level with the edge of the Southampton penalty area. 14 gone, 0-0. Here's Scott Minter.
Yeah, he did really well there, didn't he? I want to see sort of Leone come through and look as if he can play in this Liverpool first team.
McAllister for Nunez, and he's fouled it over the bar. McAllister blocked off just towards the edge of the D. The referee letting play go, but it hasn't played the advantage. He didn't deem that there was a foul there on Alexis McAllister.
Yeah, it wasn't too much. It was just a push over. He must have caught him somehow, Nathan Wood, but no, I don't think there was anything in that. And look, we talk about the youngsters and want to see Leone get on the ball as much as possible. He got himself in a good position, and it wasn't a great ball, and he was disappointed with that, but at least he's trying to get into the box and make something happen. But Darwin Nunez, I want to see more of him. I saw him a lot when he was at Benfica, and I was raving about him, and he's still an absolute handful, and most players will say, look, you still want him in the side because he can be so good, he can be such a handful, and he can, even though he doesn't score goals himself, help the team win and create chances and create havoc. But I want to see him more on the score sheet. They just had edge of the box there, well over. Got to get his shooting boots on.
Yeah, 3 goals for him this season, 20 appearances he's had, although they've been almost evenly split between starts and substitute appearances. Gakpo just cynically wrestled to the ground there by Downs. No yellow card. Free kick that Liverpool took quickly. Now in the next phase of play, they worked it back out towards Gakpo. Just rolled under the feet of Nioni. And Harwood Bellis, Downs, I beg your pardon, will get it back to his goalkeeper, and McCarthy again with no thoughts of playing out from the back sensibly in these conditions without taking a stance on previous tactics. But when the ball isn't running particularly smoothly inside the penalty area, you don't want to try anything too risky. And Southampton will play it out now with Fernandes finding Downs, back from him to Harwood Bellis, and he's miscued it straight past Gakpo, and out of play for a throw that will be taken over on the Liverpool left-hand side. They've had the ball exclusively in Southampton territory probably for the last 6 or 7 minutes now, but it's still 0-0.
Yeah, they have. I just felt if Flynn Downs had looked up, James Breen made a run down the right wing and could have played him in, and then they could have been on the counter-attack. Instead, he kind of played it back, and it was a difficult ball for Harwood Bellis in these conditions to try and play in Breen.
It's half-time at the Emirates, Arsenal 0, Palace 1, with that 4th-minute goal from JP Mateta. Newcastle still leading Brentford 1-0. They've played just more than half an hour there. We played 17 minutes here, 0-0, and neither goalkeeper has had anything of consequence to do at all so far. Liverpool try and roll it forward for Gakpo's run, but Breen marshalled him well. It's out of play for a Southampton goal kick.
I'm looking at the stats here. Liverpool have had 76% possession. Is this right? Goal attempts on either side, 0. Shots on goal, 0. Shots off goal, 0. Block shots, 0.
That's right.
It's been that type of game so far, hasn't it?
Yeah, understandable. I think with the conditions that we've been banging on about have more than played a part. But the wind has probably abated a little. The rain certainly has over the last 4 or 5 minutes. As McCarthy plays his ball forward now, and Rebo tries to poke it round the corner. Fernandes coming away with it. I think Morton appealed with some justification. There might have been a handball in there. Liverpool now get it back, and it's worked forward towards Nunez, and Bednarek comes across. Times his challenge well, slides it out for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool left.
Great tackle, great tackle. It's the first time the game's really opened up. And Darwin Nunez, normally the type of balls he loves, but Bednarek just read that so well. Can't even say it was overplayed. He just came across, and in these conditions, and again, you talked about the sort of not really surface water, but as he slid in, load of water just came up as if that was a good sliding tackle.
Well, Liverpool do have an outstanding record in this competition. They have only lost 1 League Cup tie in 90 minutes in the last 5 years. 0-0 here at the moment. 20% of the way through the game. Remember, no extra time these days in this competition, so if it's level after the end of 90, straight to a penalty shootout. Endo's in there very strongly, getting the better of Downs. And then Southampton win it back, get it forward quickly for Fernandes. Looked up, saw that Archer was probably offside. He's gone the other way towards Dibbling. Dibbling inside the box and just toe pokes it at Quaveen Kelleher. First shot that either side have had. Dibbling couldn't make the most of the chance. Yeah,
and he's a talented young kid. He really is. I expect a little bit better of him. At one point you're thinking maybe Liverpool would be in, but suddenly one clearance, and that's what it was, a clearance, and it was 3-on-2, and the ball went out to Tyler Dibbling. And I mean, I've seen him, he's quicker than he looks, but he's definitely really skillful. I've seen him gain an extra half a yard there, and he had no real conviction in that, and in the end it was a shot that went straight at Kelleher, even with no pace at all. Southampton are to get through. I mean, one way obviously is to keep it 0-0 and go through on penalties, but if they are to score, got to put away those type of chances.
Listen, I might be being cynical, but when you've let in 10 goals in your last 2 home games, I don't think they're going to be banking on a 0-0 tonight. Here's Dibbling trying to win it back in the midfield, did just enough to keep it alive and work it to his left-hand side for Nathan Wood. Now over the top from Manning, but that clearly caught the breeze. Probably wouldn't have got to Archer anyway. I think that Trent Quansah, I beg your pardon, got his positioning right, and is going to be able to stay goal side of Archer. Gomez has got it now, and he's come forward into midfield, and Endo has dropped back in alongside Quansah in this very fluid Liverpool defensive formation. 20 minutes gone, 0-0 the score. And Trent Alexander-Arnold will play it back here on Talksport 2. Reminder, at the end of this game, be straight to Ali Pali for the conclusion of the night's darts from the PDC World Championships with a fantastic Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason, along with Ian Danter, talking you through the action in North London. It's at the end of events here tonight. Cody Gakpo in possession over on the Liverpool left-hand side. So much of the game concentrated in Southampton territory. Possession pretty much 3/4 Liverpool. Endo playing it back here for Kwanzaa. Just joining us, Southampton making 3 changes, one of which was enforced. Liverpool making 8, of which only 1 was enforced. Manning will get the ball forward. Aribo sliding in. He just found himself fouled there by Harvey Elliott. That's a free kick which will be taken by Southampton on the left-hand side. The likes for Liverpool tonight of Alisson and Gravenberch, Van Dijk, Salah, Szoboszlai, Diaz and Jones, all given the night off. None of them have travelled. And that's with the thought of the big game on Sunday in mind, of course. Tottenham away for Liverpool. Southampton at the weekend go to Fulham. Free kick here which Southampton will take pretty much on halfway, just inside their own half. Fernandes standing over it, but it's going to be Manning to slam this forward. Liverpool keeping a really high line, 15 outside the penalty area, and as soon as the ball was in the air, the referee said there was a coming together between Dibbling and Endo, and it's a free kick that Liverpool will take about 12 yards outside their box. Midway through the first half, Scott, still 0-0 and largely chanceless.
Yeah, I was going to say, you can't give away a foul like that when you got a half an opportunity to stick it in behind the Liverpool defence. I just don't think it was. I think Endo ran into Dibbling and then just went down. I think Liverpool got away with that one. But Simon Rusk though would be delighted with what he's seen so far. You know, no real major chances from Liverpool.
Morton playing it forward here, and Bednarek's able to steer it away.
Looking reasonably comfortable when they're on the ball as well, and they've had the best chance of the game so far.
Now Dibbling trying to play a through ball to set up Archer. Kelleher came out, dealt with it outside his penalty area. And now coming up the other end, Liverpool have gone long on Nunez, getting the better of McCarthy, who stumbled, and he side puts it into the bottom right-hand corner. And just as it looked as though Kelleher had sold Alexander-Arnold short at one end, they quickly go straight down the other. One long ball over the top. McCarthy didn't know whether to come out and try and get that sweep up ahead of Nunez. In the end, he raced back, stumbled as he did so. That sold Nunez's mind up for him, and he's just side-footed it past him into the bottom right-hand corner. And it's Southampton 0, Liverpool 1.
Well, first of all, excellent from Darwin Nunez. That's what I want to see him doing. That's what I saw him doing on a regular basis for Benfica. But it's poor defending, and I've got to say, I mean, first of all, Trent does so well, doesn't he? And the way he just comes away, plays the ball over the top. They're not even going to check, obviously, because there's no VAR, but as a deflection, it's poor. But I just think Alex McCarthy's got to come and claim it. And he's not quite sure. He goes back, he stumbles. Not the best at defending, but just go for it. I think Darwin Nunez, if he sees in the corner of his eye a big goalkeeper coming in, even shout. You know, keepers and these centre forwards can sometimes just be distracted by that. In the end, he's gone back, he's slipped over. He's given Nunez, in these conditions, the ability and the time to bring the ball down, and it's a simple pass into the side of the net. Well done, Darwin Nunez, but it's another poor goal of Southampton to concede.
I was going to say it was just a long ball through the middle. It was a very well executed long pass through the middle from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but Jan Bednarek's touch wasn't the best from a Southampton perspective. That just gave McCarthy something to think about, really.
No, it did, and it's a tough call, but all I can say is I know that certain forwards, and what I want from my goalkeeper, whether you're coming out for crosses, even if you take me out as well as the forward, I want you to be decisive, and he wasn't decisive there. And if he comes out all shouting, you can see him, this sort of big green thing coming at you, then maybe he could just be a little bit distracted, Darwin Nunez. In the end, he had time to bring it down, and it was a simple finish into the corner of the net. And just at the point where I was saying Simon Rusk will be delighted with how Southampton have started.
So Liverpool leading 1-0. They've taken the lead in 16 separate games this season in all competitions, in which they've scored first, and they've won all 16 of them. They haven't dropped any points in the league when they've scored first. They've won every cup game in which they've gone 1-0 up as well. And they have the advantage here, and they'll be looking to double it after a poor challenge on Gakpo. by the retreating Bree. It's outside the penalty area. Gakpo's momentum took him through the penalty area. The contact was clearly outside the box. It was also clearly a foul. So it's a free kick that will be taken about a yard from the dead ball line, and maybe a yard to the left-hand side of the box as well, like a hockey short corner here. And they've set up with Nioni unmarked in space in the D. There are 5 Liverpool players inside the box. It's been worked short, comes outside the penalty area, right-footed delivery, travels a long way, might break for Gomez. Gomez pokes it back for Nioni. And Nioni will go square out towards the left-hand side, and Liverpool will build again, but from a deeper position. They lead 1-0 after that Darwin Nunez goal, his 4th of the season, some 3 minutes ago. It's his first away goal that he scored on English soil since last March. Ball worked out towards the Liverpool left for Harvey Elliott. It comes back again, 15 yards inside Southampton territory. Now Liverpool looking to really stamp home their advantage here. Chipping ball over the top towards the far side for Darwin Nunez. Nunez has got it. Working it back towards Gomez again. It's gone out of play off a Southampton player for a Liverpool throw. I said that they got this perfect record when they scored first, Scott, this season. One of the opportunities that the opposition had to try and break that was here when they scored first and then found themselves 2-1 down with an hour played. And came back and won it deservedly by 3-2, and they were much the better side that day, and probably the margin of victory, the stats would tell you, should have been even greater, but it was an 83rd minute penalty from Mo Salah, whose shirt off celebration told you exactly how important that goal felt at that time as he raced away to the far touchline from here. But that's one of the few occasions that Liverpool have been put in a game really when they've scored first, and they're looking to really get a stranglehold on this one now with their advantage and get a second, which you would feel would make it safe. Yeah, no, it was a really important goal at the time, and you're right, the stats suggest that Liverpool dominated the game, but it's all about the scoreline. I just think if anyone takes a penalty tonight, I don't see them taking the top off and running away for a bit. No, not in these conditions. The celebration would be putting a coat on, wouldn't it? No, tonight. A second goal for Sandro Tonali coming up to half-time. Newcastle 2, Brentford 0, and Sandro Tonali has scored both of those. And it looks as though Newcastle will be going through to the semi-finals of the competition. Brentford have only ever reached the semis once. That was 4 seasons ago. Newcastle, who were runners-up back in 1976 and again in 2023.
Thomas Frank has got to get around that away form, hasn't he? I know they played, the fixtures have been horrible on the road and much easier at home, but such an imbalance between the two.
Yeah, 6 away defeats in 7 for Brentford coming into tonight, and against the side that they stuck 4 past recently. They're 2 down coming up to half-time in the League Cup tonight. Liverpool leading this 1-0, good value for it as well. Elliott tried to slip a ball down the right-hand side for the run of McAllister, and it's cleared out for a throw that'll be taken by Trent Alexander-Arnold in front of us. Drops it short at the feet of Kwanzaa, then gets it back, plays it through the midfield, and another little plume of spray comes up behind the ball. Here's Tyler Morton. Back from him to Kwanzaa. Out of the Liverpool left for Gomez. Gomez working it for Bednarek, coming across the clear, and does so from the right-hand side of the box. He'll be chased after by Dibbling, but his touch has put it out for a throw that'll be taken over on the Liverpool left-hand side.
Can't get hold of the ball, Southampton, can they? It's all Liverpool at the moment. And again, there's a balance between, not playing out from the back in a kamikaze way, but not just sort of giving the ball back every single time. Really important for the midfield to just try and look like, you want the ball. Even if you've got someone on you, Liverpool's press, Liverpool's so impressive without the ball as much as with the ball. And sometimes you just need, even if it's like a wall pass, and then hopefully someone else will move. Give me the ball, I'll give it you back, someone move. But at the moment, Southampton can't get 2 or 3 passes together.
Oh, it's an excellent ball forward for Cody Gakpo. He's got Morton up with him. He's checked inside the penalty area. Sent it up for Elliott, whose left-footed effort is very well blocked by the diving Harwood Bellis. The ball cannons out of the box, but Liverpool will come again here. Rolled forward into the feet of Elliott. Now it's square by Gomez. Alexander-Arnold giving the instruction to turn. He's faced up by Fernandes, but can just play it through the midfield for Elliott. Now to Kwanzaa, and now Joe Gomez can bring it forward again towards the edge of the penalty area. Out to the Liverpool left, another opportunity for Gakpo. He's gone deep with the ball in. Nioni with the header, but he slightly mistimed it up against Manning. And he goes out of play for a goal kick.
Yeah, Manning did well there. It's one of those, again, we talked about. Sometimes just get the ball in with this wind and this rain. It's really difficult to judge. And Nioni comes round the back, and Manning doesn't win the header, but he does enough from a physical point of view to make sure Nioni can't get a proper contact on it.
Over on Talksport, second half about to start in the London derby of the Emirates. Arsenal 0, Palace 1. Possession in that game 72-28 in Arsenal's favour. The Palace have had more shots, and they lead courtesy of that 4th-minute goal from JP Mateta. And as I say, if you've got the Talksport app, it's really easy just to listen to what you want from that game, what you want from this one as well. Swipe left, swipe right. Now we'll keep you abreast of everything that is going on as we give you a choice of listening yet again. Part of our festive 50 as Elliott is played in the edge of the penalty area and drives it crisply into the bottom left-hand corner. No more than Liverpool deserve. They've strangled the life out of Southampton here in terms of possession. They've taken the chances when they've come their way, and they lead by 2-0.
Yeah, that's brilliant play from Liverpool, and you're spot on, Jim. It's been coming. It's been almost death by 1,000 cuts, the way Liverpool just been pass. Southampton not been able to get hold of the ball at all, and you're waiting for an opportunity. You know, Liverpool, Southampton just sort of up against the ropes and just trying to hold on and keep it to 1-0 for as long as possible, but really good play. Gakpo's really impressed me tonight. He's done well in these conditions. He's still trying to get on the ball. He's come inside. He's got a little 1-2. Then he's played it off to Elliott, who's taken his first touch. There's a bit of a deflection of Ryan Manning, who's trying to come in, but there's 3 defenders who are not able to stop the shot. I mean, Alex McCarthy might well say, well, without that deflection from Manning, I would have got there. We don't know, but it was a good strike from Elliott. And I'm really pleased for him, who's a really talented player, who's had his injury problems as well, so well done to him.
Yeah, man, who hasn't started a game since the final day of last season because of the foot problem that's bedeviled this campaign. His first goal of the season, and his 11th in Liverpool colours. Now Liverpool leading here at Southampton by 2-0. And no real discernible reaction from the Liverpool manager just behind us. It's just almost a polite round of applause when the second goal went in. Free kick to be taken by Liverpool on the edge of their own penalty area. Alexander-Arnold slams it forward long, headed down by Harwood-Bellis, finding Bednarek. Bednarek back towards McCarthy. It did just get there. It looked as though it was a close run thing for a moment. Fernandes lays it back for Downs, who will flick it up. Fernandes then has to climb to head the ball past Morton. It just plays the way that he's facing. Nathan Wood has got it. His way back to his goalkeeper was being obstructed by Nunez, so he was forced to play it wider inside the area for Harwood-Bellis. Southampton play long and give it away, and then Downs wins it back as Liverpool try and come again with Wood finding Flynn Downs again, and he'll pop the ball to his left hand side here for Ryan Manning, who was probably Southampton's standout player the other night on a difficult night for them. Bednarek plays it towards Harwood-Bellis. He gets it away from Nunez, back for Bednarek again. And now Wood will work it forward through the midfield. Fernandes coming to meet it, does well. Just plays the way that he's facing back for Downs, but they can work it out via a Rebo. Now towards the Southampton right-hand side here for Bree. Bree will continue his run forward, having knocked the ball down into the feet of Downs. Downs has lost it, and Southampton have lost their shape. Liverpool will bring it forward quickly. 4 against 3 if they can work it right here. Nunez slowed it down almost to a saunter. That allowed Southampton to get bodies back goal side. Haven't got the ball back. Gakpo back for Gomez. Now to Tyler Morton. Morton will work it down towards the right for Elliott. And now to Alexander-Arnold again. Right-footed ball in from him, and a right-footed volley well saved. Really well met by McAllister on the edge of the box, and McCarthy got down, got the palm of his left hand to it to just flick it around the post and keep it at 2.
Look, I was critical of McCarthy with that Nunez goal, but that's a wonderful save, it really is. The ball's played in from Trent, and McAllister, he takes it first time, he keeps it down, it bounces just in front of McCarthy and is going into the corner. He has to dive to his left really quickly. It's a wonderful reaction save.
2-0 Liverpool, this their second corner of the night. It's Elliott that's come across to take it.
And you're right, stopping it going 3-0, I wonder whether the game's over already. You never know, get a goal back, but 3-0 certainly will be.
Elliott taking this corner, swung in very deep, headed away on the edge of the 6-yard box by a Southampton player who go down towards the far corner flag. It's gone out for a throw rather than another corner, which Alexander-Arnold is not going to take. He's gone out, picked up the ball, but will now leave it for Joe Gomez to potentially launch a long one inside the penalty area here. Has got a decent long throw on him, but looks as though he's just going to try and work it short instead. Nunez supplying plenty of movement for him, but it's Nioni that he's looked for. He's found him. They're ahead of Dibbling. They'll do it all again as it comes off the Southampton teenager for another throw. 2-0 to Liverpool. They haven't had many shots. They haven't needed many. And they're very good value for the 2-0 lead.
You said earlier, didn't you, about Southampton can't bank on keeping a clean sheet. And that's where I'll go back to when Tyler Dibbling, it's not like a clear-cut chance, but it's definitely at least a half chance. You just got to do better, because against this Liverpool side, despite the conditions, despite the 8 changes, this is a class side, and people that can slip in and still do so well and help dominate a game. And Arne Slot just behind us must be thinking, Premier League, is it that hard?
Well, he'll be realistic enough. He's always dampened expectations ever since he's come to the club. Know that there are tougher challenges ahead, but the season's looking pretty rosy at the moment. In comes this latest corner. Nunez mistimed his jump at the near post and then has pushed Fernandes over, and it's a free kick that Southampton will take just outside the penalty area with 7.5 minutes to go to half-time. Half-time at St James's. Newcastle 2, Brentford 0. Palace leading at Arsenal 1-0. Southampton 0, Liverpool 2. Here, the final quarter-final is tomorrow night. Of course, it's on Talksport. 8 o'clock kickoff. Tottenham against Manchester United with Sam Matterface and Leanne Sanderson, with Adrian in the chair as always for Spurs. Manchester United in the Carabao Cup quarter-final, build up at 7 ahead of an 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night over on Talksport. And then Saturday, our Premier League exclusive game, Saturday lunchtime from the Midlands. Villa against the Manchester City side who've only won 1 of the last 11 in all competitions. 12:30 game day exclusive, the award-winning game day exclusive. And at the same time, Scott will be it's down the road from here at Fratton Park. Portsmouth looking to bounce back from a desperate display at Derby last Friday when they are at home to Coventry, and that's a 12:30 kickoff here on Talksport 2 next Saturday lunchtime. Southampton 2 down here, in possession but not for long. McAllister back in defensive duty for a moment, then he's given it away and stuck his right hand out almost involuntarily to try and stop Dibbling's progress. Gomez then goes across and defends it really well in front of the Liverpool fans. He just stuck out a right boot, flicks it off Dibbling, and it goes out of play for a throw that'll be taken on the Liverpool left.
He's learning a lot, Tyler Dibbling, tonight. He's learning what it's like to play against top class players. I mean, he's a big talent. As I say, he's quicker than he looks, but he's incredibly skillful. He's still very young, and he'll be playing Premier League football next season, even if Southampton won't. But he's learning a lesson about the physicality of how to really be up for this, how to know when to play, when to lay the ball off, when to run with the ball.
Manning taking a very quick throw for Southampton, well intentioned, but he couldn't quite find Archer with it, and Liverpool get it back for Kelleher. It's interesting, you're talking about Dibbling, you're saying he will be playing Premier League football next season. If you were advising him, he's still only 18, would you advise him that he has to move in the summer and he has to stay playing in the top flight, or being just about the biggest fish in the Championship, would that suit him? Get your thoughts on that in a moment as McAllister plays it back for Morton. That's assuming Southampton go down, of course. I mean, there's still 22 games for them to save themselves.
I think they will.
There's a chance.
A very small one. But yeah, there is a chance. Look, it's actually a really good question, because you see a lot of youngsters going on to bigger clubs and just not able to. They almost get lost for a few years, don't they, and then have to move again. So you're right to bring that up. And if I were advising him, I'd first of all see who the manager is. I'd see how the rest of the season goes. I'd speak to the hierarchy and say, what are you planning? Are you going to make my client the sort of star guy here? because I do think there is plenty of time, and I think in today's world, let alone in today's football, everyone wants everything here and now. And if he does well, the money will come, so don't worry about that.
Now an equaliser for Arsenal, 1-1 in their game at home to Palace. Gabby Jesus with that. It's Fernandes inside the Liverpool penalty area. Lovely check, chips it inside the penalty area. And there's been a collision as two players who are coming to meet it. I think it was Downs and Gomez. And the ball has beaten the pair of them. It was James Bree, I beg your pardon. The ball has beaten the pair of them and just curved straight out of play for a goal kick. But it was a wonderful check back inside from Fernandes. Sold the dummy to the Liverpool defender. But couldn't find anybody in red and white inside the penalty area, and a half chance for Southampton very quickly came to nothing.
Yeah, and look, we talk a lot about Tyler Dibbling, and rightly so, but I tell you what, this kid as well, and he's still only a kid, 20 years old, Mateus Fernandes, he's actually got the most goal involvements for Southampton this season, so he's a big talent of that, there's no doubt.
Yeah, he did score when these two sides last met here. Got the goal that gave Southampton a 2-1 lead. Adam Armstrong had equalised the Dominic Szoboszlai's opener before Mo Salah scored twice. Once just before the midway stage of the second half, and then that late penalty we were talking about earlier to win it 3-2. Leone works the ball through the midfield here for Liverpool tonight. It's 2-0 Liverpool. They're very comfortable, despite the fact that they made a raft of changes, that they've got a 17-year-old playing in Trey Leone, and he's looked the part. He's done everything very neatly in these difficult conditions with the wind and rain picking up again. Here's Cody Gakpo trying to work the ball forward. It's hit Dibbling. Breaks for Tyler Morton, who won here last season in his loan spell at Hull. Came here and was part of a side that shocked Southampton in the middle of that really good run that they had. Ball over the top from Kwanzaa. Left-hand side of the box. Gakpo maybe caught in two minds. He's ended up volleying it right-footed straight into the northern end, and it comes back down from the supporters out of play. Goal kick, which McCarthy will take. 2 to go to half-time. 2-0 to Liverpool.
I think it was one of those where Kwanzaa almost tried to use like a pitching wedge, and it ended up being like a bit like a 5-iron, really, getting caught in the wind. But you do think that if they almost had to win this by 4, they have another level or two to step it up, if not in the first half, then in the second, because they have been, after what was it was a bit difficult getting used to the conditions, and very much a changed 11 here. First 15 minutes.
Archer trying to get the ball wide to the right-hand side for Dibbling here, but couldn't play him in. Gomez comes across and slides it out to throw to Southampton. 90 seconds of the first half to go. Not a huge amount of stoppage time to be added on, but it will be a throw which will be taken on the Southampton right-hand side by James Bree, who scored a couple of goals in this cup run. And in fact, they've scored almost as many goals in this League Cup run as they have in the Premier League this season. Southampton, 9 compared to 11. And they're going to end the half with their first corner of the night, which will be taken over on the far touchline, the Southampton right. And it's Ryan Manning that will go across to take it. So it's going to be an in-swinger from the Irishman. And it's the cue for Rebo to come forward. Archer stands bending down, hands on his knees just for a moment on the edge of the 6-yard box. Harwood Bellis is in there. Bednarek standing right in front of Kelleher. Rebo and Bree inside the 6-yard box as well. And in fact, there's now 15 players, 14-15 inside that 6-yard box. Harwood Bellis tries to get free. McAllister watching him every step of the way. There was a shove as the ball came in, and it's a Liverpool free kick. And that's going to see them safely through to half-time with a 2-goal advantage.
I just felt that was a big moment in the tie. If they were somehow able to get a goal, and I don't think that is a foul. Cameron Archer's just standing there. If Kelleher wants to come and punch it, he's going to have to come round him. It's not as if he's holding on to the keeper. And if they were able to get that goal, 2-1 suddenly just changes the complexion of this game from both sides. But if it does go into 2-0, I mean, Liverpool have dominated this first half after the first 15 minutes. And as I say, you do feel they can get a third. 2-1 would have made it interesting.
So just a 1 extra minute to be added on. And it'll start with the Southampton free kick as Kwanzaa gave the ball away. Passed it forward, found Dibbling. Dibbling then fouled by Elliott. And it's a free kick which will be taken by Southampton in the inside right position. One last chance to get the ball forward. Liverpool will defend with this artificially high line again. Only probably 15 yards from the ball, maybe not even that. So the free kick's being taken 25 yards outside the penalty area. The Liverpool line is halfway between the free kick and the edge of the box. It's just clipped over the top here from Fernandez, trying to get Nathan Wood round the back, and the referee spots another infringement. Harwood Bellis given a shove, and now the free kick, the subsequent free kick, is in a shooting position for Fernandez.
Okay, so this is the moment then, if you are to suddenly turn things around. The crowd are pretty flat, and understandably so, because Liverpool have literally, dominated in terms of possession and chances as well. But if Southampton can somehow nick it, I'm telling you now that half-time team talk changes.
So Fernandez stands over this, so too Manning, and Bree is there as well. Fernandez, you would imagine the overwhelming favourite because of the angle. Could be a left-footed ball in from Manning to the aerial targets. And in fact, that's what it's going to be. Hit into a dangerous area, bounced on the edge of the 6-yard box. No Southampton player could get there. Might have been better advised in difficult conditions here with the swirling breeze to have a shot on goal, but they didn't test Kelleher. Indeed, they didn't really test Kelleher throughout the 45 minutes. Nunez breaking the deadlock on 24 after Bednarek couldn't deal with a through ball, and McCarthy didn't know whether to stick or twist. Nunez firing it past him. Elliott with a crisp second. 8 minutes later, it's Southampton 0, Liverpool 2 at half-time.
Jim, thanks very much. As the players make their way down the tunnel, at least the rain has eased off for Southampton, but it is pretty much more of the same from them. But it could, Scott Minto, have been a different story. They had a 3-on-2 Southampton at 0-0. Tyler Dibbling shooting straight at Quivin Kelleher. If they'd made the most of that and done what they should have done and hit the back of the net, who knows what could have happened tonight, Scott? Yeah,
and I actually think he's better than that, Tyler Dibbling. That's what you want when you get into the box, just on the right-hand side, but he can go inside onto his left. There were 2 Liverpool defenders around him, and in the end it was just a really weak shot. Again, there's no real belief, and I want him to be able to show tonight that he can mix it with the big boys. He can play against Liverpool and look like an absolute star, and I've seen him do that already this season. Just not seen him do it tonight. Again, I said they're not going to get many chances, and Jim rightly pointed out they can't rely on a clean sheet. So when you do get those type of chances, you've got to put it in the back of the net.
Yeah, and at 0-0, who knows what it would have done for the mentality of the players, the crowd as well. Wasn't to be. And the Liverpool first goal, Darwin Nunez with the finish, and the crowd had been giving him stick because he'd missed. He hadn't just missed. I mean, he probably missed the stands with a couple of the chances that he'd had. But it was a weird goal. There was some brilliance from Trent Alexander-Arnold on the edge of his own box, sent a long ball forward. Bednarek kind of flicks it on really to Nunez. McCarthy, should he come or should he stay at home? He decides to stay at home, and he's put it in the back of the net, so it looks like the wrong decision from the keeper.
Yeah, and look, hindsight's a wonderful thing, and goalkeepers only have split seconds to make that decision, and we know what it's like as a goalkeeper. You make a mistake, and it can result in a goal, whereas anywhere else on the pitch it might not. I just feel starting position, want to look at that again, as Trent does really well. He's got 2 players on him. Kelleher, gives it one under a little bit of pressure, and Southampton, if they'd have nicked it, would have been through on goal. But Trent, as calm and cool and skillful as he is, goes past those 2 players. He tries to thread the ball through. You're right, Bednarek doesn't really cover himself in glory, but the ball bounces up, and if McCarthy's on the front foot, and as I said, sometimes not just that kind of bit of green out the corner of your eye or Nunez's eye, seeing who's coming at you, 6'4", whatever McCarthy is. But if he's shouting and screaming as well, that people don't always hear because of the amount of people are in this crowd, but you do when you're on the pitch, you can scare centre forwards, and he didn't do that. And he just stepped back, slipped over, gave me even more time to bring the ball down. And in the end, mate, even you could have finished that one off.
Not even Nunez could miss that, seriously. And actually, it was the Liverpool fans straight after he put it in the net singing, "You're just a pretty poor Andy Carroll," or words to that effect, wasn't it? Which I thought was great humour from the Liverpool fans. Second goal, you just got to be happy for Harvey Elliott. There's great play from Cody Gakpo coming in from the left, and a couple of little passes, and all of a sudden Elliott's in, and there's a little bit of a deflection, I think, but take nothing away from Elliott, who's had such a tough time with injuries. He's just got to be happy for him.
Yeah, really happy for him. And you're right to mention Cody Gakpo, who I think has played well. And these are very, very difficult positions. And sometimes you can be a player and think, oh, do I really fancy it? I know that sounds disgraceful. Every time you pull in the shirt, you should be up for it. But Cody Gakpo has been up for it. And again, he's been clever because sometimes he's gone down the outside and he's gone past James Bree. This time he came inside, played a nice little 1-2, then laid the ball to Harvey Elliott, who took a really good first touch in his left foot but shot quickly with his right. And it meant that Manning couldn't get a proper... he got a deflection, but he couldn't get a proper block on it. And McCarthy there had absolutely no chance at all. And that second goal, I do think, has killed it. You know, Southampton needed to somehow find a way to score a goal just before half-time. 2-0, and they're absolutely bossing at Liverpool.
Yeah, they are. I mean, the next goal is crucial, though. I mean, it's a cliche, but it's true. It looks all over, you're right. But if Southampton come out and score an early one, suddenly the crowd gets up a little bit, and you never know.
Yeah, and I was at the Southampton game against Leicester when they were 2-0 up. And Leicester, you know, it looked like half-time was done and dusted. Southampton were absolutely bossing it themselves. The only thing I'd say is that Southampton aren't Liverpool and Liverpool aren't Southampton. I don't think either are capable of one blowing a 2-goal lead and the other one of coming back from 2-0 down. So
yeah, you're talking sense there, aren't you?
Well, but that's what Simon Ruskell is saying. Look, you know, towards the end of that half, we had a corner, we had a free kick. I think Jim's right, in these conditions, just have a pop. See if he can bounce in front of Kelleher, and if he can't hold on to it, you know, try and follow it in. Suddenly it's 2-1. Everything changes. Suddenly Liverpool are one mistake away from equalising. And remember, it goes straight to penalties if they can find a way to get these 2 goals. The first one would be the hardest, and you know, Jim's already come out with the stat how good Liverpool are once they score that first goal. This is a real uphill battle for a side that's rock bottom of the Premier League and lacking in confidence.
Well, Liverpool look like they're on their way. They're 2-0 up live on Talksport 2 here at St Mary's. Southampton 0, Liverpool 2. Nunez and Elliott with the goals elsewhere. Newcastle 2 up as well at half-time. Tonali with both. And Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 1. 8 minutes into the second half. Gabriel Jesus cancelling out JP Mateta's opener for Crystal Palace early in the first half. 1 apiece. And that's live on Talksport. But here on Talksport 2, Liverpool, the holders, look like they're heading into the semi-finals. Southampton need to find something from somewhere. Saints are 2-0 down.
Last minute party, what will I bring them? Something unexpected. Let's play scratch cards.
Trying to find something a bit different? Why not add some play to Christmas with scratch cards from the National Lottery? Pick them up in store now. Please gift responsibly. Rules and procedures apply. Players and gifters must be 18 or over.
Sam used to worry about rising energy prices, but not since fixing his tariff. Instead of spending hours looking for deals, he just relaxes in the shower, singing rather badly. Because with a British Gas fixed tariff, you're protected against future price rises. And if we release a cheaper fixed tariff, you can switch to it, absolutely free. Search British Gas tariffs. Eligibility and T's and C's apply.
Live on DAZN, December 21st, Usyk vs Fury 2. Reignited. The 2 best heavyweights on the planet will collide. For redemption, for greatness, for legacy. Get closer to Fight Night with the best viewing experience, unrivaled talent lineup, and exclusive watch-alongs on DAZN, the global home of boxing. Buy the pay-per-view with no subscription required. Usyk vs Fury 2, December 21st. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Oh, not near the house, please. Come on, up the other end of the garden.
It's fine, Mum!
Oh, it's gone straight through the kitchen window.
We'll get someone out to replace that for you. Don't worry.
With Direct Line's accidental damage cover added to your home insurance, whether you've smashed your window or spilt wine on your carpet, we'll get you from problem to solution as quickly as possible. Direct Line, we're on it.
Excess applies. Home insurance underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
Woo! Amazon's last-minute deals are here. So you can save big on all sorts of things. From electronics and home to toys, beauty, and so much more. Woo indeed. Shop Amazon's last-minute deals. Ends the 22nd of December. With deals that make you go, woo!
Are you an absolutely huge fonter or a zoom-inner? Perhaps you're an arm stretched out like a zombie when holding a newspaper, or a squint so tightly at the menu the waiter thinks you're sleeping. At Specsavers, we get it. You don't want to admit it's time to become a glasses wearer. That's okay. We're ready to see you whenever you're ready to see properly. Book an eye test at specsavers.co.uk so you can see clearer. OK, we'll stop with the now.
The epicentre of world-class football coverage.
And he finds the bottom corner!
The League Cup live on Talksport 2.
They've only won 3 games all season, and 2 of them have been in the League Cup, which might offer the best chance of salvaging anything from a wreck of a campaign. And now coming up the other end, Liverpool have gone long on Nunez, getting the better of McCarthy, who stumbled, and he side puts it into the bottom right-hand corner.
Excellent from Darwin Nunez. That's what I want to see him doing. That's what I saw him doing on a regular basis for Benfica.
Elliott is played in the edge of the penalty area and drives it crisply into the bottom left-hand corner, and they lead by 2-0.
Yeah, live on Talksport 2, Southampton 0, Liverpool 2, Newcastle 2 up against Brentford, and Arsenal 1, Crystal Palace 1 live on Talksport. And more live Carabao Cup action tomorrow evening as Tottenham face Man United, looking to book a place in the semi-finals for the first time in 3 seasons. Ahead of the game, Spurs boss Ange Postecoglou refused to be drawn on whether Spurs were finally close to winning a trophy.
I don't think quarterfinals is close. You get to a final, then you're close. There's still a fair bit of football to be played. All we can do is, be ready for tomorrow night. Like I said, good game. Big opponent. They've done well in cup competitions the last couple of years. We're at home, which is great for us with the support behind us, and as you said, an opportunity to get to a semi-final. So I think that's enough kind of motivation and kind of focus we need for this game.
Yeah, I'll be there at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium for Spurs. Man United, the final Carabao Cup quarter-final. Sam Matterface on commentary. Leanne Sanderson, the former England striker, alongside us as well. That's live over on TalkSport tomorrow evening. The live sport keeps on coming, doesn't it, this weekend? Saturday night, TalkSport bringing you commentary of the huge unified heavyweight world title rematch between Alexander Usyk and Tyson Fury, live from Saudi Arabia. Check out the TalkSport Boxing YouTube channel. Our team out in Riyadh bring you exclusive content, and the YouTube watch along on Fight Night as well will bring you closer to the action than ever before. Usyk Fury 2, the rematch this Saturday, live on the TalkSport network and TalkSport Boxing YouTube channel. Now, as soon as we're done here at St Mary's tonight on TalkSport 2, we'll head over to Alexandra Palace for live commentary from the PDC World Darts Championship. Paul Nicholson and Chris Mason calling the action. So let's head over to the guys live now at Ali Pali. We've already seen a 9-darter tonight, guys.
We have, Adrian, in the last leg of the first set of the match between Maras Razma of Latvia and Christian Kist. The 5th leg of the set, we saw Christian Kist get the 15th 9-darter on the Ali Pali stage since it came here in 2007. And with that 9-darter, he's earned £60,000 for himself, £60,000 for the chosen charity, which is Prostate Cancer UK. And somebody in the audience is also going to get £60,000. And to start the next set, Chris Mason, Christian Kist has just hit another maximum.
Yeah, the crowd are absolutely buzzing because one member of this crowd in here tonight is going to walk away with £60,000. A magic moment in a magic match so far. Christian Kist averaging 112 early on this evening in match number 1. Well, Jim Williams will still be scratching his head trying to work out how. Well, hang on 1 minute.
This is a replay that we're seeing.
Right.
They're showing in the monitors and the audience. They think it's a live 9-darter coming into the second successive leg.
Yeah, Paulo Nebreda somehow managed to muster up a win against Jim Williams, who won more legs than his opponent, had a higher average, hit more 180s, but it is Paulo Nebreda who is through to round 2 to take on Ross Smith. Well, I'm sure you can hear the reaction, and that's just a replay. You should have heard it live.
Yeah, really, really good. We've also got Ricky Evans, Rapid Ricky as he's known, up against the Oceanic Masters champion Gordon Mathers, who's made the trip all the way from Brisbane in Queensland. And then supposedly the headline act tonight, Leonard Gates, who took out Cameron Menzies 2 days ago, is up against the number 12 seed Nathan Aspinall, who hasn't had a brilliant season at all with injury and confidence issues. It'll be really interesting to see what happens the rest of the night, Adrian. but when you're finished at St Mary's with Liverpool and Southampton, we'll be here to do it live on Talksport 2.
Stuff I'll be listening on my way back. Our coverage here on Talksport 2 from the PDC World Darts Championship gets underway as soon as we are done here at St Mary's. A reminder to listen to our coverage every day with our excellent team: Ian Danter, Mark Wilson, Chris Murphy, Chris Mason, Paul Nicholson as well, over the next 3 weeks before the final on the 3rd of January, which will be live over on Talksport. And if you can't get enough of it, Darts on the Radio is superb. We all know that. Can't get enough. Tomorrow afternoon from 12:30 on Talksport 2, the live darts from Ali Pali gets underway, and it doesn't look like we're going to be late to Ali Pali tonight because Liverpool are in control here at St Mary's. They're already out for a quick warm-up before the second half gets underway. They lead by 2-0. Nunez with the first, Harvey Elliott with the second, and Southampton make their way out as well for this second half. You know why Cody Gakpo's playing well? It's because of my motivational talk when I bumped into him in the lift at the hotel earlier today. All I said was play well. It's exactly what he's doing. This management thing's easy. I can't believe so many of them get the sack. Southampton 0, Liverpool 2, second half, live here on Talksport 2 with former Cup winner Scott Minto alongside Jim Proudfoot.
Oh, you remember the days of Shoot and Match magazine where you used to have player questionnaires? Biggest influence on career? Adrian Durham in the lift. Yeah,
I wish I'd have known Adrian back in my playing career and he had said that to me.
Yeah, play well. No, I hadn't thought of that. What a good idea.
I wasn't going to until he said that, so yeah, now I will.
Liverpool are making a double change at half-time. Alexander-Arnold and Gomez off, and Chiesa and Tsimikas are on. Tsimikas back after an ankle problem which has kept him out for the last 6 weeks, but he gets 45 minutes here. We are back underway. Southampton kicking from left to right, defending the Chapel end of the ground in their red and white striped shirts. Liverpool in their very dark green kit have given a free kick away at the beginning of this second half, which will be taken over on the far side. So Morton is now playing at right back by the look of it, or are they going to drop Chiesa in there? There's a free kick which will be taken over on the Southampton left. A high right-footed ball swept over the top. Coming to meet it is Harwood Bellis, who's leaning back by the time the ball got to him, and it's just come off his forehead and gone innocuously out of play for a goal kick, which will be taken away to the right-hand side by Quaveen Kelleher. But Chiesa's certainly a player, Scott, that will feel as though he's got something to prove. His Liverpool career yet to really take off, will catch light. It's only his 4th appearance for the club tonight, and 3 of those have been as a sub.
I think the reason why he went at such a cut price is because of those injuries. I mean, he has been a fantastic talent, and unfortunately that talent has been, I don't want to say cut short yet, but certainly he hasn't shown his full potential for a period of time. Obviously he did for his country a few years back, as we all well know. But yeah, definitely, you know, everyone was saying Liverpool need to buy more. There was only Chiesa that came in. He hasn't really played many games. Just goes to show that Arne Slot, everything you saw in pre-season, he was more than happy with. He's very calm, saying no, I'll do what I need to do. But in terms of Chiesa, absolutely, he wants to, 1, stay fit, and then 2, show what he can do. Because it's one of those where if he is going to be fit and he can get a run of games, he's going to be another great addition to a Liverpool side that's already top of every sort of league table they're involved in.
Yeah, everything going very well for Liverpool at the moment. Only the middle of December, of course, but top of the Premier League, top of the Champions League, FA Cup to come, and the last 4 seemingly of the League Cup as well. 2-legged semi-finals will bring you both legs of both semi-finals here on the Talksport network in January and February, and the final itself, which is a couple of weekends later this year. It's March the 16th this year, the final of this competition, live on Talksport as well. Arsenal have come from behind. They lead by 2-1 in that game against Palace, and Gabriel Jesus only scored 1 all season coming in tonight, has got both of the goals. Arsenal 2, Palace 1. Newcastle 2 up against Brentford. Liverpool 2 up here. Nyoni, Tsimikas, and now Cody Gakpo coming off the left flank, getting away from Tyler Dibling. Ball played back. Nyoni's got it again. Now to Tsimikas, and straight back from the Greek international to Nyoni, to Endo, who's playing at centre half today. Liverpool with Kelleher in goal. And they got Morton at right back in this second half, Kwanzaa and Endo, and then Tsimikas at left back, McAllister, Nyoni and Elliott, and then Chiesa's on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Darwin Nunez, the scorer of the first goal, going through the middle. Southampton, McCarthy in goal, Bree, Harwood, Bellis, Wood, Bednarek and Manning, Dibbling, Downs, Aribo Fernandez and Archer. And here are Liverpool in possession, leading here on Talksport 2 by 2-0. Nunez on 24, Elliott on 32. Here's Gakpo trying to get round Bree, who had to stretch and poke the ball away for the first corner of the second half.
Yeah, and I think he's struggling a little bit with his groin as well. He's just looked to the bench, and again, that's the physical pressure that Cody Gakpo has put on him throughout the whole of the first half, and then you sit down for 15 minutes, go a little bit cold, and you have to sprint again. Really good little run. Again, I reckon Adrian said more than play well. I reckon he said, look, go short, go long, watch that ball in behind, come inside when you need to, because he's doing exactly as he's been told.
Well, it looks as though Bree's race is run. There's no Walker Peters today either, so it'd be Sugawara that would be coming on for him. He's just sat on the Southampton bench at the moment and getting ready, applying the tape where necessary, and he'll be on very shortly. 5 minutes into the second half. Simon Rusk, the bearded interim manager, standing on the edge of the technical area. He's only been here since July, having been appointed coach of the under-21s. He'd been at Brighton in a similar role before that. And it's Simka Hulshoff who is down, barking the instructions on the edge of the Liverpool technical area at the moment. He's actually just calling Kostas Tsimikas over, and they just want a couple of words with him. The play stopped because of this problem for Bree, who doesn't look as though he's going to be able to continue, and he's just making his way over towards the touchline now, although maybe he is, because Sugawara, having pretty much got himself ready for action, has just put the yellow bib back on and is going to sit down. So they're going to give Bree a couple of minutes. Looks as though it's safe for Arsenal. They're 3-1 up now against Palace, and it's a Gabby Jesus hat-trick. Play will resume. Bree off the field for the moment. Liverpool with a corner, hit in really deep, but bounces once inside the 6-yard box, and then the next bounce is over the line and out of play for a goal kick. 2-0 Liverpool leading here on the South Coast. 6 minutes gone in the second half here on Talksport 2. Alongside me, Jim Prout, the former Cup winner, Scott Minto.
Well, it's a poor corner from McAllister, a player I rate so highly. For me, Argentina's second best player in the World Cup. And I really, I love him in that kind of number 8 position, not just as a 6 holding back, but he's got better quality than that.
Yeah, time flies. Hard to think that final against France was 2 years ago today.
Yeah.
That epic 3-3 draw that we brought you here on Talksport from Lusail in Qatar a couple of years ago today.
I bet that was some experience, wasn't it?
Well, if it wasn't the best game I've ever seen firsthand, I can't immediately think of another one to put up with it.
No, especially considering it's the biggest game that football can offer, and they can quite often be boring. And yet, 2 years later, here you are with me.
Yeah, what a privilege it is tonight, as well as that. Mind you, Barnet 2, Torquay 3 in 2001 was pretty good, but that's a different story. Here's Kwanzaa getting the ball out from the back. Work forward towards Nyoni, who's been dispossessed there by James Bree, and now Dibbling has got the opportunity to come forward. Endo forced him to go wide. Bree working the ball inside the penalty area. Looks as though he's okay after that groin problem. A right-footed cross just took a deflection. Chiesa can help it away, and then Nunez, cleverly using his body, found himself a little bit of space for a moment, but Bree covered the ground very quickly to get back. And with the aid of Bednarek, Southampton have got possession back again, and they switch it quickly out towards the far touchline. And win a free kick for a foul on Manning, which he's threatening to take quickly. Works it short in the end to his right-hand side for Flynn Downs. 7 gone second half. As we were saying in half-time, although it feels a very comfortable lead for Liverpool, it doesn't feel fragile in any shape or form, really. Were Southampton to score next, you just don't know how things might develop. Bree trying to head on a ball forward. And it's then come off the head of Downs and breaks Cody Gakpo's way on the left-hand side. And just forced by Dibbling back inside his own half, but he's maintained possession. McAllister flicks the ball to his left for Tsimikas and then puts both hands out as if to say, just calm things down. Liverpool can do that, working it back to Jarrell Kwanzaa. It's the Liverpool fans that you can hear over on the far touchline. And fine voice after the long trip down here. It's going to be a late night for them.
And look, you know, there is still a long part of the game to go, and if Southampton were to get the next goal, then it does make things interesting. But you know, this is just everything that Arne Slot could have dreamed for tonight. He's made 8 changes. He's given youngsters a chance. They're dominating the game, playing at the pace that they want to.
And now Gakpo coming onto it, tries to thread it in. I think the offside flag is up against Nunez. He just tried to feather the ball back into the feet of Nyoni, who was coming in. But he did so from an offside position. It's a free kick to Southampton just outside the box.
And at this point of the game so far, there's no injuries. And they've got obviously a big game, a difficult game at the weekend on Sunday against Spurs. You know, just everything he's doing at the moment is coming off, and rightly so. You can see there's a lot of work that's gone on with the Liverpool side, and players coming in looking as if they're first team regulars, and they've hardly played a game. It's brilliant so far. But you know, no medals handed out in December. Let's see how they go once we get past Christmas and into the squeaky bum time.
Now a little bit of hope for that game over on Talksport as Palace halved the deficit. Eddie Nketiah getting the goal. Still waiting for his first Premier League goal since making the move from Arsenal to Palace, but he scored against his former employer tonight. He got 38 goals in Arsenal colours, 1 against them this evening, and it's 3-2 there, and that continues live over on Talksport. Arsenal 3, Palace 2. About 4 minutes to go in that game. But just coming up to the midway stage of the second half on Tyneside, Newcastle 2, Brentford 0. Sandro Tonali brace in the first half. And this one 10 minutes into the second half here on Talksport 2, 2-0 to Liverpool. Aribo playing it back. Howard-Bellis sending it forward. And the ball is brought down comfortably in the midfield by Harvey Elliott, who thought he was being pulled back there, and he might have had a case. Southampton will run it back and bring it forward. Manning's got Fernandes to his left, threaded through towards Aribo, who might have been offside had the ball got there. Comes back towards Downs. Now Southampton will work it forward again. Harwood-Bellis clipped, straight ball over the top, coming across the cover. Kwanzaa with a comfortable header away. Tsimikas can then turn it forward towards Nunez. Gakpo ahead of him is in an offside position. Nunez will work it forward. By the time the ball is played towards Gakpo, he had got himself back onside. But play has to stop because there's a confrontation between Tsimikas and Downs. I must admit I didn't see what the flashpoint was there, Scott. And everybody watching the ball fall towards Cody Gakpo, and then all of a sudden the referee stopped play. There was something going on. There were 3 Southampton players and 2 from Liverpool just down in the other half of the field, and a little bit of pushing and shoving going on that has now been calmed down.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it either. I was watching the ball. It looks like it's gone to Harvey Elliott and Flynn Downs as well. And actually, it's almost as if when Darwin Nunez is running with the ball, Harvey Elliott's sort of put his hand up to make sure Flynn Downs can't get across him and try and tackle Darwin Nunez at 5-6 yards away, and they've just done a little dance together, hugging each other. And Flynn Downs looks about 6 inches taller than Harvey Elliott, and in the end it's ended up with a booking each.
Yep, Tsimikas was quickly on the scene, but he was acting as peacemaker. Downs and Elliott both in the book. The first yellow cards that have been shown tonight. Arsenal 3, Palace 2, Newcastle 2, Brentford 0, Southampton 0, Liverpool 2. Tomorrow night it's Spurs against Manchester United over on Talksport, and then the lineup will be completed for the Carabao Cup semi-finals, and every League Cup game from here on in is going to be live on the Talksport network. Another free kick has been given Liverpool's way, just inside the Southampton half. 2-0 here, 12 minutes gone in the second half here on Talksport. Now Vitor Pereira's verbally agreed a 1.5-year contract to become the new Wolves manager. Wolves set to pay around £1 million in compensation to release him from his contract with the Saudi Arabian side Al Shabab. The contract has been signed. Wolves taking on Leicester on Sunday. Following game they got home to Manchester United on Boxing Day, which is a game that you can hear only on Talksport on national radio. Here's Cam Archer for Southampton. Right-footed effort from him. Southampton back in the game. Archer's got a wonderful goal-scoring record in this competition. There's hardly a hint of a celebration. The ball was played to him on the left-hand side of the area. He turned inside onto his right foot and has lashed it past Kelleher into the top right-hand corner. And it's Southampton 1, Liverpool 2. And it's now game on.
Wow, and that has come from absolutely nowhere. As the ball was trying to play down the other side, I think it's Endo who's got in his face. He's just ricocheted off to Cameron Archer. He's running almost, I don't want to quite say Thierry Henry-like, but he's on his right foot, on the left-hand side. He cuts inside two players, and he sticks that one in the top corner, giving Kelleher no chance whatsoever. That is a brilliant finish, and from nowhere, Jim, we have a game on our hands.
I mean, it is from nowhere. And the second shot that Southampton have had on target. He scored 7 goals in 8 League Cup ties in his career. And Cam Archer makes it Southampton 1, Liverpool 2. And we mentioned about 4 or 5 minutes ago that the lead didn't feel fragile at all. But now that little warning shot across the bows will, at the very least, keep Liverpool honest in the half hour that remains. It is game on again.
It is funny, isn't it, how when people go 2-0 as a dangerous scoreline. I mean, it's give me 2-0 every day of the week, please. And yet once that, we also then say that next goal is so important, and it really is. And everyone has been completely lifted around here.
Well, Southampton are going to make the change, and it is Sugawara for Bree, slightly later than advertised. Change being made on the hour mark with Southampton back within a goal. Saints side have lost the last 3 here, 3 wins in 19 in all competitions this season. The only games they've played in the league where they haven't lost, at home to Ipswich, the draw felt like a defeat with the late equaliser, a victory against Everton, a very game draw at Brighton, but that's been it. Will they be able to salvage something here? Southampton 1, Liverpool 2, and here's Sugawara in possession now for Southampton, bringing it forward, ball into a dangerous area. What a save from Kelleher. It's a magnificent stop. He took a little flick in front of him and he instinctively dived to his right. He got a strong hand to it, and then it was cleared from behind him. Now Sugawara whips a decent ball in. Fernandez chests it down, scuffed away for a corner. It's a different game now.
Oh, wow. And Sugawara's come off the bench, and within literally 2 minutes he's put in 2 great balls. The first one, it was a brilliant ball in, just in behind, and it's a fantastic save from Kelleher. Reaction save. He's got the ball back again, Sugawara, and he's whipped it in. It's gone to the far post. Fernandez does really well. Great defending from Liverpool, and suddenly they are on the back foot.
Yeah, the first one, the magnificent ball in, and Archer just threw a right foot at it, and Kelleher stopped it, and Morton did the rest. In it comes the corner, and Kelleher doesn't get anything on that. Right, it's beaten everybody and goes out of play for a goal kick, and Liverpool are now going to make another double change. They made one at half-time. They're now going to bring Jota on, and he's going to replace Gakpo. And they're also going to be bringing James McConnell on, central midfielder who played 35 minutes of the final last season. He hasn't seen the light of day in a Liverpool first team shirt since March, but he will be coming on, and he'll be replacing Alexis McAllister. So it's McConnell for McAllister and Jota for Gakpo. 62 gone. Southampton 1, Liverpool 2 here on Talksport 2.
Interested in that midfield, how important it is. We know that Morton's gone to right back, but there's Leone in there. McAllister, the real experience, World Cup winner. He's the one being taken off just at the time where Southampton have their most belief.
A chance for Liverpool to bring the ball away from the penalty area. Archer, who's been revitalised by that goal that he scored, has given a free kick away. That's a free kick that will be taken by Liverpool just outside their own penalty area, Scott.
McConnell did do well when he came on though, didn't he, in that Carabao Cup? I mean, I'm thinking from a Chelsea angle, right, looking at this side now in extra time, Chelsea should go on and win, and Liverpool deserve to. And that was with a lot of kids on the pitch.
Yeah, McConnell played his part. Jayden Dans, you'll remember, did as well. He came on at the same time. He actually then scored a couple of goals against Southampton in a 3-0 FA Cup win between these two sides last season at Anfield. Well, 3 goals again today. 2-1 Liverpool lead. Chance for Liverpool to bring the ball forward out from the back. It's down towards Tsimikas. Work forward by him into the feet of McConnell, who's taller than McAllister, who he's replaced. Still a while to get the ball back towards Endo. It's a real mix and match Liverpool side that's out there now. Tsimikas at left back, Endo at centre half alongside Quansah, Morton at right back, McConnell, Nioni and Elliott in midfield, Chiesa, Jota and Nunez the front 3. Nunez has come out of the left and Jota is going through the middle as things stand right now. Well, Liverpool have got it on halfway. Quansah played out to the Liverpool right. Back it goes for Elliott, and Elliott will guide it all the way back for Keller, the blonde-haired Irishman, outside his penalty area. Finding Tsimikas into the feet of Trenioni, who will take a touch and just work it back away from Tyler Dibbling. 25 minutes to go here. Arsenal 3, Palace 2, deep in stoppage time over on Talksport. 3rd goal for Newcastle, they're surely through. Fabian Schär has made it Newcastle 3, Brentford 0. So it looks as though it's going to be Newcastle, Arsenal at the moment, Liverpool at the moment, Spurs or Manchester United. We'll find out who tomorrow. Arsenal have won that game and they are through. So Arsenal through, having beaten Crystal Palace in a game that they trailed for a long part of it, but they've beaten them by the odd goal in 5. Arsenal 3, Palace 2. Newcastle 3, Brentford 0. 15 minutes or so to go there. 25 to go here, and the wind and the rain has picked up again. Liverpool leading 2-1, but it's a slightly more nervy lead now than at any previous stage. As Joe Aribo picks up possession in the midfield for Southampton. Plays it back. Taylor Harwood-Bellis scored on his England debut. He's put under pressure there by Jota and goes to ground. He's been fouled, and it's a free kick that'll be taken by Southampton just inside their own half, but not before the referee has done his bootlace. I can't remember the last time I saw that. Simon Hooper just undergoing some running repairs. He's back on his feet and everyone's able to continue again.
Back to being a filthy night again now, isn't it?
It is. It's not been a fragile lead with a capital F. It's a filthy night with a capital F. One of those nights where you wish you hadn't parked a mile away to try and beat the traffic. Harwood-Bellis back for Bednarek. And now to Taylor Harwood-Bellis again. Sugawara, who's made an impression since coming on the Southampton right, is just holding the width on the right-hand side, but the ball was worked through the middle instead. Connell losing out towards Downs. Dibbling has got it, neatly turns, takes it down towards the touchline. Now he's got an opportunity to run at Tsimikas. He's deceptively quick. He's got a sort of a long-ranging stride about him, Dibbling, and he does cover ground more readily than you expect him to be able to. Certainly got a touch just in his style. I'm not comparing him to Chris Waddle in terms of ability yet, but he's got a touch of the Chris Waddle about the way he plays the game. He's just trying to poke the ball now down the right-hand side of the box, and Sugawara is claiming that he was being blocked off there by Nioni. The referee said no case to answer, and it's a goal kick to Liverpool. We're midway through the second period and it's still 2-1 to the Reds.
But it's a completely different game now, isn't it? Southampton, the body language is completely different. Tyler Dibbling is getting on the ball, he's taking on players. Sugawara's come off the bench and making a big difference down that right hand side. They're whipping more balls in that we talked about with these conditions that Liverpool defenders do not want to be facing. They're looking so much more dangerous than they were in the first 50-60 minutes.
Now they're going to be mixing it up in a moment, because the 6'7" striker Paul Onuachu is going to be coming on and make his comeback from injury. Southampton play out from the back into the feet of Downs. Now Sugawara guarding it back for Harwood Bellis. Dibbling's got it, tried to turn, take the ball with him, but just stumbled as he did so, fell over the ball. Jota's won it back. Jota inside the penalty area, and it's cleared after the ball got past McCarthy, off the line by Harwood Bellis. It could have been 3-1 and all over, but Chiesa sees it cleared about 2 yards off the line, and it's still 2-1.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jota's come off the bench and made a big difference as well. I'm not sure that was going in actually from Chiesa, but Harwood Bellis doesn't know that. He gets in front of Harvey Elliott and makes the clearance. Cannot afford to concede a third. If they do, it really is tie over. But all the while it's 2-1, they believe.
Onuachu will be joined on the field in a moment by Sulemana. Corner to be taken by Liverpool. It's an in-swinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Didn't get the height that was needed. Sugawara heads it away. Liverpool win the seconds. Aribo stops it, falling for Jota. Southampton try and poke it forward over the top of Morton, but he recovered well, came back, chested it down and gets it away. And we join listeners from Talksport with the scoreline here, 2-1 to Liverpool at St Mary's, and it is game on now after it looked as though Liverpool were coasting through to the semi-finals. Tsimikas getting the ball inside the Southampton penalty area. Jota has fouled his man, and it's a free kick that'll be taken by Southampton just outside the 6-yard box, and they're in a hurry to take it, work it out towards Joe Aribo. So for listeners who've just joined us from Talksport, Scott, just give us a brief summation of where the game is right now.
Well, Liverpool dominated the first half, dominated the first hour really. 2-0, could have been more, looked in complete control, but the goal from nowhere, a really good goal from Cameron Archer as well, but cutting inside and giving Kelleher no chance whatsoever. And this game has completely changed. Southampton believe they've made changes and they're looking to get on the front foot for sure.
Now Liverpool have made 4 changes. They made a double change at half-time, and they made a double change about 4 or 5 minutes or so ago as well. Now one of the players brought on, James McConnell, making his first team appearance for 9 months, having the ball in midfield. Now the 17-year-old Trey Nyorni's got it. It's only his 3rd senior appearance for the Reds tonight. 2 of those have come in cup competitions against Southampton. 1 last season and 1 this. It's his first start for the club tonight as well, so it is a real makeshift mix and match Liverpool side that's out there at the moment. I'll run through the 2 lineups for you in a moment, but it's Liverpool in possession. They work the ball forward towards McConnell down to the Liverpool left hand side for Tsimikas, who's made his comeback from injury in this second half. McConnell's got it again under pressure from Downs, plays it back to the edge of his own box for Endo, who's playing at centre half for Liverpool tonight. Rolled forward from him to McConnell and back again, and now towards Tsimikas and through towards Endo, and Endo can just poke it forward for Harvey Elliott. Left-footed ball forward from him, but it rolls through to safety for Southampton to McCarthy. So McCarthy has got Harwood Bellis, Bednarek and Wood in front of him. Sugawara on as a substitute at right wing back. Downs on the left, Manning on the left. Downs in the centre of midfield with Aribo. Fernandez and Dibbling wide. Cameron Archer through the middle, although they're going to make a double change in a moment and bring Sulemana and Onuachu on. Liverpool have got Kelleher in goal. Tsimikas at left back, Endo alongside Kwanzaa, Morton at right back, McConnell in midfield with Nyorni and Elliott, then Nunez on the left, Chiesa on the right, and Jota through the middle. So a double change for Southampton, and Flynn Downs will get a big ovation as he comes off. Cam Archer, the Southampton goal scorer, coming off as well, and they'll be replaced by Sulemana, who's the unlucky player who was hooked 14 minutes into the game at the weekend. It was his first start since May 2023, and he lasted 14 minutes. Last goals he scored for Southampton were against Liverpool. He comes on. Paul Onuachu coming on as well. Player who started the league game against Liverpool, his first Southampton start for 18 months, got injured in that, but he's come on now. So a double change being made with 18 minutes to go. Scott Minto.
Well, Onuachu certainly gives a different type of presence, doesn't he, to Cameron Archer. He is big and he's strong, but he's skillful as well. And then Sulemana, I was here, I really felt for him. I mean, Russell Martin had to do something.
Now Onuachu has won the ball back, and he'll drive forward. He's got no support. Tries to bulldoze his way inside the penalty area. Kelleher came out for it. Slight lack of communication at the back from Liverpool. They could smuggle it away, but it looks as though it's the goalkeeper's ball, and Kwanzaa played it out of his keeper's hands. Southampton win the seconds in a deeper position on halfway. Dibbling trying to bring it forward, and the referee says foul. Now, he let play go after the initial indiscretion from a Liverpool player. So Simon Hooper, the referee's pulled it back for that first foul. So it's a free kick midway between halfway and the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. And Southampton looking for the equalising goal.
Yeah, Onuachu again. I mean, what I would say is, and actually from both managers and both sides, subs have come on and tried to get, I mean, I'm talking about Jota. He's made a difference for Liverpool, but certainly for Southampton, Onuachu nearly came off the bench, and it would have been an unbelievable goal. He had a long way to go. He had to get past two defenders, but he wants to make an impact.
Fernandes taking this free kick. Onuachu chested down, his offside. Chested it down, trying to poke it in. Didn't manage to do that anyway. The offside flag rightly up against him. Down is the free kick that will be taken by Liverpool, but they've themselves got a player down injured inside the penalty area at the moment.
Yeah, Zendo again, isn't it? He's been in the wars. I'll tell you what, that was tight. Chiesa just dropped off. No VAR, of course, so let's stick with it. And the ball bounced up. It was difficult for him to try and do it first time, but once he took that touch, it took him away from the goal and gave defenders a chance to come across, but yeah, he was offside anyway.
So Endo has been in the wars, and he's now gone down holding his right shoulder. So there might be a lengthy spot of treatment that is necessary for him. 15 to go. Give us an overview of the Southampton performance. I mean, clearly they were always going to be better than they were the other night. They've been much more direct. That was always likely to be the case as well, Scott Minto. But what have you made of it overall?
Well, look, I mean, straight from kickoff, they played the ball back to the centre half, who then put it in diag 40, 50 yards. And I think that was a bit of a statement. Nothing against Russell Martin, but just to sort of say, look, we're going to go long. We're going to give ourselves that option as well. I think the first 15 minutes, it was pretty much 50-50, but then Liverpool took complete control. 1-0, 2-0. Southampton never gave up, but just couldn't get hold of the ball. And what they have been able to do by making certain substitutions, just Cameron Archer as well, the goal from nothing, has given them the real belief. And look, we discussed that about, you know, the amount of goals they've given away and the individual errors, and I think it's really because you're asking certain people who are not comfortable to do that with the press and how good teams are now on the press. Well, they're not doing that. They're passing the ball out from the back when they feel it's on, but they're quite happy to go long at the same time. So there's definitely a different type of style of play, and I'm pretty sure Simon Russell said, look, you call it between yourselves. If you don't feel you want to, then go long. If you can, then that's absolutely fine as well.
Southampton trying to get the ball forward quickly. It came off the back of the head of Onuachu, who was chasing into space. That allowed Liverpool the opportunity to get it forward, and they then win a throw level with the edge of the Southampton box. So Arsenal through, Newcastle going through. Liverpool favourites in this one, but the lead is only 2-1 with 13 minutes to go. Endo coming on, or back on, should I say. He's okay after that shoulder problem. Throw taken quickly over on the Liverpool right-hand side. One back by Sulemana. Onuachu trying to make life difficult. Couldn't make ground up the far touchline. Liverpool are basically surrounding him every time he's got the ball. You know, they're trying to sort of corral him down towards a touchline or block his runs. Almost sort of very head-down style, Paul Onuachu. Running with intent. Liverpool have dealt with him pretty effectively so far. 13 to go. 2-1 Liverpool lead this. Aribo.
If you're going to bring him on, Jim, then use him. Use his strengths. He's big, he's strong, he's the tallest player on the pitch right now. So don't be afraid to go long and then, you know, get some people running off him as well. At this moment in time, they're not looking for him, and also no one's anywhere near him if they were to play the ball up to him.
Yeah, he's been a very isolated figure so far, and they can't get Dibbling and Mateus Fernandes too far forward. Dibbling involved in this latest phase of play, along with Sugawara, conceding a free kick right in front of us. We're situated about 10 or 12 yards inside the half that Liverpool are attacking in this second period. An extraordinary record they've got in this competition, as well as winning it 10 times, which is far and away the best record of anybody. 14 finals. They've only lost one League Cup tie in 90 minutes inside the last 5 years. That was the 3-2 defeat to Manchester City back in the 22-23 campaign. Won 7 and drawn 1 of the last 8 games in this competition, and scored nearly 3 times as many as they've conceded in that time. Southampton making them work now. Here's Trenyoni, who's done well on his full debut. Ball is played back through the midfield for Harvey Elliott. His first start of the season, he scored. Onuachu winning it back, playing it to the edge of his own penalty area. Bednarek to Harwood Bellis. Harwood Bellis taking a touch inside the box, now finding Sugawara, who played in 2 delicious crosses within moments of coming on, but they haven't been able to get him into attacking position since. Clearance from Harwood Bellis, picked up by Tsimikas, back to the edge of the Southampton penalty area. Ball driven in, headed away. Jota on the edge of the penalty area under pressure from Aribo. Well won back by the retreating Elliott. Liverpool can build from a deeper position with Kwanzaa. Elliott chipping it over the top. And no flag up against Chiesa. Ball is swept away from him by Nathan Wood. And now Sulemala will try and bring it forward up the left-hand touchline. Morton stops him getting too far, trying to backheel it off him out of play for a throw. It stayed in, but Morton recovered. And Liverpool can calm things down back inside their own half again. 2-1 with 10 minutes to go.
And Southampton were just playing out the back there, and then it was fine. It was 3, 4, 5 passes, and then it had to go longer, and it was Tyler Dibbling who didn't realise that Howard Bellis had to go long. So by then going long, it looked like he's given the ball away there, but no, he had no other option there other than putting his goalkeeper under massive amounts of pressure, and that's what I think they've been doing in the early part of this season. You know, the forward-looking players need to understand it needs to go long there.
There's been a goal at St James's Park laid on for Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Newcastle 3, Brentford 1. Only a consolation you'd feel. Johan Wisser tapping in from close range after good work from Brian and Mbeumo. We're in a 3 added on minutes. It's Newcastle 3, Brentford 1.
That's seemingly just a consolation. Newcastle going through there. Here's Tsimikas, yarding from the left-hand touchline with Talksport and Talksport 2. 2-1 to Liverpool here at Southampton. Tsimikas, ball inside the penalty area. Acrobatic attempt from Nunez, didn't make any contact with it. It's cleared by Southampton. Out as far as McConnell. The young midfielder can find the even younger Trenyoni to his left. Now Tsimikas has got it. McConnell again. Back for Tsimikas. Liverpool just maintaining possession. The weather conditions really difficult for the players tonight, although the rain has abated in the last 10-15 minutes or so. Liverpool trying to work the ball forward. Wood can get it away out of the Southampton left-hand side, where Manning will play it forward. Onuachu can't hold it up, and Morton has done well to win it back. Now Elliott back for Kwanzaa. There was a little 5-minute spell after Southampton had scored where it looked as though they might be able to get themselves back into it, but Liverpool have done well to take the sting out of it again since then.
That is game management, and that is a class side with class players. Even if they're not a full strength first team, they know exactly how to manage a game, because you're right, it was 2-1 from nowhere, and then those 2 balls in from Sugawara, where easily one of those could have ended up going in the back of the net, and we really would have had a game on there.
There was a little back pass from Tsimikas that didn't go quite where he intended, but
panicked a little bit.
Yeah, he was there, he got there, he made one outstanding save to deny Cam Archer an equalising goal. Manning can bring the ball forward here, having won it back on the Southampton left. He's got Onuachu in the middle, he's led it back for Aribo, deflection on his pullback, and Nioni will control it and clear on the edge of his own penalty area. The handball shout that you heard was an optimistic one from the Southampton fans. Sugawara's done well, just played it across the face of the edge of the area, and Dibbling couldn't get it in his stride. Liverpool hammer it to safety, and Southampton build, but from a much deeper position.
Yeah, firstly, good pressure from Southampton defence, making sure that Darwin Nunez couldn't get a hold of it. Sugawara did really well.
Manning getting it in here. Tsimikas heads that one away from the edge of the box. That was a better handball shout from the Southampton fans against Jota, who then loses possession. And Fernandes will bring it forward. He's poked it to Tyler Dibbling. Out it goes towards Sugawara, but The cross would have come in on his left foot. He didn't fancy that. Very right-footed defender. Southampton will build, but they'll switch it all the way from the right over to the left. Sulemana getting in for Onuachu. Left-footed effort from him that he didn't quite get hold of. And it was blocked by Endo in behind him. Southampton come again with Manning inside the box. Morton hacks that one away. And all of a sudden, there is a little bit of pressure again. No pressure at St James's. Newcastle through pretty comfortably in the end. Mark Wilson.
Yeah, Newcastle 3, Brentford 1. Sandro Tonali's first half double. The first, an excellent shot from the edge of the box, sent them on the way on 9. Then he volleyed in beautifully from a corner. Cher wrapped it up with a goal, tapped in from close range with 20 left. And then Visser's consolation, scant consolation really. Second time in 3 years, Newcastle into the semi-finals of the League Cup. Newcastle 3, Brentford 1.
Cheers, Mark. Double change for Southampton. Rebo replaced by Lallana. And Bednarek has come off, and he's been replaced by Ben Brereton Diaz. So Southampton flattening off to a 4, chasing the game with 6 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Scott Minto.
Well, why not? Why not? You might as well concede one now. Just try and get a goal.
Ball over the top from Southampton. Sugawara. First time ball in from him is blocked, goes out of play. Off Tsimikas. I mean, Jurgen Klopp used to speak so highly of Adam Lallana and the impact that he made. He said he was a tremendous Liverpool player, tremendous Liverpool man. But back at the club where he started his career now, having had a successful spell at Brighton in between times as well. And he's made his way forward here. It's an opportunity for Sugawara to launch a long throw inside the box. 2-1 Liverpool lead. High long throw inside the penalty area. Headed on, might break Dibling's way, flags up. And Tsimikas clears it anyway, and it's going to be a free kick which will be taken by Liverpool inside their penalty area. We're also going to see Jayden Danns come on here for Liverpool. Danns, who excelled in the cameo in the League Cup final, and then scored a couple of goals against Southampton when the two sides met in the 5th round of the FA Cup last year. His last appearance actually was in the quarterfinals of the Europa League last season. So he comes on. Shocker black hair, replacing Trenioni, who gets a big ovation from the travelling Liverpool fans on the far side. Jayden, son of Neil Danns, who had an excellent career himself with the likes of Colchester and Birmingham back in the day. Jayden just laying the ball back for Tsimikas now, driven forward, 2-1. 5 minutes plus, I reckon at least 5 to be added on. It could be 6. And Southampton have got a cheap throw over on the far side. Yeah,
Darwin Nunez again is just lack of concentration. Can't give the ball away, but just go back to that chance where the two substitutes were involved. Sulemana, great ball across. And Onuachu, if that is on his right foot, he gets a good connection. He completely misses it with his left foot. He's 8 yards out. Defenders have got half a yard on him. Got to do better.
Manning takes a long throw, good trajectory on it, nice low flat one, flicked on at the near post by Harwood Bellis, who wins a corner, and then his first thought is to turn to the chapel end of the ground and pump his fists and urge the supporters to try and propel Southampton back into this tie. They're looking for an equaliser. Real crowd scene in the 6-yard box again. 15 players in there as it's hitting really deep and over the head of everybody, past Ben Brereton Diaz and straight out of play for a goal kick that'll be taken by Liverpool away to our right hand side. Penalty in the Women's Champions League. Here's Ian Abrahams.
Arsenal 3, Bayern Munich 2. That'll be enough for the Gunners to win the group. Mariona Caldente from the spot looks to have won this 5-goal thriller. Arsenal 3, Bayern 2.
Moose, thank you. 3 minutes to go in this one. Southampton fans dreaming that there might yet be penalties involved here, but they need an equaliser for that to materialise. McCarthy gets the ball forward, Wood plays it back to him. McCarthy under pressure, pokes it away. Really didn't want the ball back there from Nathan Wood. Nunez forced McCarthy just to poke it down towards the touchline. Jayden Danns was there first. Tsimikas has done well. He's fed Jota. Jota on the corner of the area, setting up Nunez. Can he work the angle for a shot? He can. It may have been going wide. It hit Wood anyway, and ricochets out towards the far touchline for a Liverpool throw.
Yeah, McCarthy shouldn't have given the ball to Wood in the first place. Wood gave it back to him under pressure, but at least he just thought to try and get rid of it rather than do something silly.
Fedikier, the right hand side of the box, setting up McConnell. Left footed shot from him is easily blocked. Southampton can bring it away. Onuachu has done really well. He's turned the ball into space for Sulemana. Sulemana coming over the halfway line, checking inside, trying to get away from Dan. Sugawara is ahead of him. Sulemana's still got it. Dan's battling, trying to get back goal side. Sugawara bringing in field for Fernandez. Right-footed ball, headed towards goal, but from an offside position from Brayton Diaz. Kelleher made a comfortable save anyway, wouldn't have counted. 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Liverpool, you couldn't say they were hanging on, but it's gone more of the distance than they would have wanted. 2-1 they lead.
Well, it's getting nervy for them, isn't it? Because Southampton are creating chances. Brayton Diaz, how much have we said over the last sort of month or so about players should be able to look across the line and not be in an offside position? And you're right, in the end Kelleher saved it, but look along the line, stay onside, don't just give away the ball in the way that he did there.
Well, Fernandez thought he was fouled. He was on his knees, maybe feeling a little bit sorry for himself. The ball came straight back to him. It made an instant recovery, got back on his feet. And Liverpool get it forward. Southampton return it with a little bit of interest, and then McConnell gets a yellow card for the initial foul anyway.
I think uncomfortable is the word, isn't it? Where they were so comfortable before and so much in control. They're not looking on the back foot as such, or just hanging on in there, but Southampton have done well since the goal. Substitutions, I think, from Rusk have been good. And then can they create one more chance? One more chance. Take this to penalties.
Diogo Jota doing really well to bring the ball away. Lallana thought he was fouled. Referee didn't. Jota out of the right-hand side of the penalty area. Another goal now for Liverpool. Kills it off, and it's a brilliant goal line clearance from Harwood Bellis. Then a shot from the edge of the penalty area is deflected over the bar by Sugawara. Southampton's goal leading a charmed life. Chiesa again denied.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And this time it was going in. And Harwood Bellis reads the situation. McCarthy's beaten. Would have gone in off the post for sure and tie over. Not yet.
As it is, we've got 6 additional minutes. Liverpool have got a corner. It's their 6th. Southampton have only won 2. The corner will be taken on the Liverpool left-hand side by Tyler Morton in his white boots. Just his second start of the season. Swung in really deep. Should be McCarthy's. He's punched it clear when maybe he could have caught it. Got good distance on the punch. McConnell, the deepest of Liverpool's outfield players, picks it up. Tsimikas drives it off Sulemana, and it goes out of play for a Liverpool throw. The conclusion of this game, again on the Talksport network. We've got a choice of listening for you. On Talksport 2, we'll be straight to Ali Pali for the conclusion of the night's darts in the PDC World Championships. On Talksport, your chance to react to everything that's happened tonight. Arsenal through, Newcastle through, Liverpool on the brink of going through as well. 03717 223344 is the number that will get you through to the sports bar. 4.5 minutes of stoppage time to go here at St Mary's. Liverpool, a much changed team, leading 2-1. Danz has found Nunez here. Smuggled away on the edge of the penalty area by Lallana. Now an opportunity for Brayton Diaz. Gets into a congested centre circle. Lallana then tried to whip the ball down towards Dibbling, and it hit Onuachu from close range. Ricocheted up behind the pair of them. Falls for Harwood Bellis. Excellent crossfield ball from him. Manning controls that, and Amateus Fernandez will work it down towards Brent Diaz again on the left flank. Back he goes for the Portuguese. Right-footed deep delivery from him. Dibbling backpedaling, and the ball just sailed over his head and out of play for a Liverpool throw that understandably they're going to be in no hurry to take. 4 minutes to go.
Unlucky there. It's the right ball, just not quite the right execution. And to get the ball wide, and again still in this swirling wind with the rain as well, just so difficult to defend. Can they get another dangerous crossing?
Wood back for McCarthy. Whack forward long. Onuachu can't go for that. He'd be offside. Fernandez can though. He's trying to get goals out of Kwanzaa. He's gone down edge of the penalty area, and immediately referee Hooper's arms went across his chest, said get up, there's nothing wrong with that. They were battling for it. The contact was outside the penalty area. It would have been a red card, but it wouldn't have been a penalty. And Simon Hooper said there was no foul.
Well, look, he's a lot closer than we are. And we'll have to wait and see on a replay whether that was just pure physical strength. But from where I was sat, that looked a foul to me.
Liverpool are able to bring it away with Jota. Jota plays it out towards the right-hand side for Chiesa. Jota's continued his run forward. They try and chip it over the top for him. He's chested it down. Sugawara stops him getting a shot in. It's gone out of play for a Liverpool corner.
It's great defending from Sugawara, realising the situation, but it's the last place where Southampton want the ball to be. I mean, boy, would they take this. And do you know what that last chance, what it was from? And Alex McCarthy just absolutely whacking it down the middle, chasing onto it. Onuachu was offside, so Fernandes took over. And look, he hasn't got anywhere near the ball. He's got his arm across him, Kwanzaa. He can turn around and say, well, I've got more physical strength, but I think that's a foul. He's nowhere near the ball, and he's brought him down.
Nothing was given. Liverpool have got a corner which is swung in. McCarthy's come and missed it, but it's cleared him. Goes down towards the left-hand touchline. It's kept in by Chiesa. Will try and take on Fernandes. Can't find a way past him, but he has won a throw. 2 minutes to go.
Because he's got his arm across him. It's not as if it's like a shoulder to shoulder. He's put his arm across him, and then he's kind of brought him down because of he's physically stronger. I mean, you're absolutely spot on to say it wouldn't have been a penalty. A red card, yes, but not a penalty. So we don't know what would have come of that, but still, it would have been a great opportunity for them.
Yeah, it would have been a free kick about 3-4 feet outside the penalty area, plumb dead centre. 90 seconds to go. I don't know whether the referee, I think Fernandes made sure the referee realised that contact had been made, and maybe that counted against him. Maybe Kwanzaa had his left arm out, I'm being devil's advocate here, across the body, and there wasn't a huge amount of contact as Elliott fires one over the bar, but getting it 20 rows back the stand is a decent tactic at this stage. But it did look like a foul.
Yeah, it did. And look, I'm going to go the other way to what I was just been saying. I still would want referees, and obviously there's no VAR tonight, but VAR generally, to err on the side of not making a decision, to allow the sort of physicality of a game to go through, and that's clearly what happened there. But do I think that was a foul? Well, he wasn't anywhere near the ball. He put his arm across him and then brought him down because he is that much stronger. I don't think it was a shoulder to well, it wasn't a shoulder to shoulder. So Fernandes, for me, would be not happy it hasn't been given. And again, I go back to the fact it was an Alex McCarthy just hoof down the middle.
Last knockings here. Harwood Bellis with a throw. Can't reach the edge of the Liverpool penalty area. Fernandes brings it down. Good turn by Sugawara. Turning away from Dans. Excellent crossfield ball. Brereton Diaz lets it run. Manning will pick it up. This might be Southampton's last attack. We play 5 minutes and 50 of the 6 additional. Ball inside the area is really poor. Kwanzaa can knock it away. Liverpool win it on halfway. Jota poking it forward. Nunez chasing after it. And he's going to be able to pick it up on the edge of the penalty area. He's just keeping the ball out of harm's way now. Nunez has it. Slows things down. Dan's waiting for the ball. Didn't get there. Nunez wins it back. Fires it wide. Out of play for a goal kick that there will be barely time to take.
Greedy, just should have kept the ball past it. Don't go for goal there, you don't need to. Just get yourself through to the next round and don't give the opposition a chance with just seconds to go of getting the chance and equalising and taking it to pens.
6.5 gone, ball played forward off Onuachu's head, and that's it. And Liverpool are through. A night that looks as though it's going to be pretty comfortable for large swathes, but then when Cam Archer pulled one back on the hour mark for Southampton, it just gave them that little bit of hope. Much improved performance for them, but the expected result, and it's Liverpool the holders that are through to the semi-finals.
Very much, but only just through Liverpool. They have made it. But I tell you what, Scott Minto, I think this Southampton crowd is encouraged by that second half performance. I think that they feel a bit more positive going forward. They might not stay up, they're out of the cup, but at least they've seen some fight from their team.
Absolutely, that's what they want. That's what all fans want. And look, big jump from the Championship to the Premier League. You're being asked to play a certain style of football where, I don't think the players are good enough to do that. Recruitment hasn't been great. But so all's what they want now. And look, I do think they will go down. You're not going to get great odds on it, and it's not a massive statement to say, but Southampton are down, I'm afraid. So what are you going to do about it now? You're going to absolutely give it your all, which they did tonight. They're out the cup, okay, but they can come away and say to themselves, well, look, we were 2-0 down. We could have folded. We didn't. We took it to 2-1. We very nearly made it to 2-2 against the Liverpool side that, yes, made changes, but, you know, we gave them a bloody nose at the end. Now, going forward, they just need to make sure, obviously the manager, you know, the appointment of the manager is absolutely key in this. But all fans want to see is for their team to give it absolutely everything. I actually thought their character was pretty decent in the second half the other night, but you're 5-0 down, you've lost the game already. Tonight I was impressed by what they were trying to do, and at times they were playing out from the back, but at times they weren't afraid to knock it long. And I just think, again, I'm all for the playing out from the back, I really am. But it's got to be done at the right time, and I felt tonight they got the balance right and were ultimately just beaten by the better side.
They came close to levelling it. Let's talk about the goal that Cameron Archer scored, because it was a really lovely finish. Before that, around about the halfway line in the centre circle, one Liverpool player slammed the ball into another Liverpool player's face, and that ricocheted Southampton's way, and boy did they make the most of it. Cameron Archer just surging forward, cut inside, brilliant finish from him.
Yeah, it did come from nowhere. And Endo took about 2 minutes to get up off the floor. We'll have to see whether it's Usyk or Fury doing that at the weekend. But honestly, when he picked up the ball, you're still sort of thinking there's two Liverpool defenders here. They should be able to handle it. But he's shaped to go down the line, cut inside, and it was a really good strike. Wasn't quite top corner, but still Keller had no chance whatsoever. It's amazing, isn't it, what happens even when you're being outplayed. If you score a goal, they change games, the whole complex of it. The body language completely changed of the Southampton players. The atmosphere around here in the St Mary's, they were suddenly up for it. Substitutions were made by Simon Rusk, and good ones as well, that made a positive effect. And Sugawara came off the bench and within a minute or two put in two really good crosses where they could easily have got the equaliser, and that would have been a game, wouldn't it, going forward if they had done that. So they gave it absolutely everything, but as I say, Liverpool do deserve to go through.
Yeah, Archer had a great chance, great save Kelleher, wasn't it? But it stayed 2-1 and Liverpool do make it through. Just a quick word on Russell Martin. If he's watching this, is he thinking to himself, I wish I'd never said, hang on a second, is he thinking to himself, I wish I'd never said plan B is to make plan A better? Or is he thinking to himself, do you know what, why don't we just boot it along and give it a go?
No, I think personally he is who he is, and that's the way he wants to go down. That's the way he wants to. We talk about philosophy and identity, and that's him. I don't think it's naive. I think it's stubborn. I think for Southampton Football Club it was wrong not in the Championship, but in the Premier League. He needed to tweak it a little bit and evolve a little bit. But I do think he can manage in the Premier League. But do I think he's sitting there thinking, oh, why didn't we do that? I mean, Alex McCarthy just absolutely gave it a Peter Kay have it, and they very nearly, got in off the back of it towards the end. You can still score from having a long pass or a long ball.
Or a long hoof.
Or a long hoof. I'm fascinated to see the next job that Russell Martin gets. He's a really good coach. He's a really, really good coach. But you need to be asking players that are capable of doing what he's asking to do. So is he going to get a better Premier League club or with a group of players? I don't think so. So then he's going to go same again, Championship, maybe take them up. Then we'll see whether he's going to say the same thing or not. But I think for Southampton Football Club, it wasn't the best thing, but he wasn't willing to change at all.
Scott, great stuff tonight. Thank you very much.
Mate.
Safe journey home. We've got full time